Weights have been lifted. Sprints have been run. Preparation for today's game is history. It's time to get it done. You're listening on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
A change allows for Michigan schools to play teams from around the country, and the MHSAA record book sees more names and new marks added. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. The list of teams Michigan schools are now allowed to play against has grown tremendously. With a rule change adopted by the MHSAA's Representative Council, Michigan schools can now play against any school in the country, provided opponents are members in good standing of their state association, and the game is played either in Michigan or in a border state. Previously, schools could only play schools from border states, but now they can play anyone as long as that game is within the border state.
This change to the competition rule will keep our kids on equal footing with what's allowed in other Big Ten states. The time has come for our kids to be able to play schools from around the country, but it needs to be in Michigan or a border state in keeping the right perspective.
That was Mark Ewell, the executive director of the MHSAA. One example of this policy change happens this week. In football, Cass Tech is playing Montvale St. Joseph, a team from New Jersey. And that game is being played at Youngstown State University in Ohio, a border state. And we expect to see more games like this as the volleyball season ramps up and then into winter with both basketball and wrestling. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the last week. First, Jacob Stone scored twice for Fraser in a 2-1 win over Rochester. The 2 goals make him the school's all-time leading scorer on the soccer field. Jacob now has 42 career goals. Alex Thole of East Grand Rapids was the fastest at the 2023 Under the Lights cross-country invite. He turned in a time of 15 minutes 40 seconds, which is a personal record. And Belleville's Bryce Underwood, who started the football season off with a bang. He threw the game-winning touchdown with 7 seconds left in a 35-28 win over River Rouge at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of
and the college and pros. This week, how about some of the things that are similar? New as of last year is the addition of a tackle box when judging intentional grounding. In high school, like college and pros, the quarterback must be outside the tackle box and throw it past the line of scrimmage for it to not be intentional grounding. Horse collar tackles are penalties at all 3 levels of play. The ball carrier must be pulled down backwards or to one side for there to be a foul. But if there is, it's 15 yards. And a receiver in high school level needs to have a body part down in bounds, the same as in college. But the NFL requires 2 feet in for a catch.
Thanks, Sam. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. For each sport the MHSAA sponsors, there is an online record book. At the end of each season, Communications Director Jeff Kimmerly updates every sport. Recently, updates from 11-player football were entered, including Ottawa Lake Whiteford putting up the 15th most points in a season with 664 total points last year. West Bloomfield's Samaj Morgan goes in for returning an interception 100 yards for a touchdown. That ties the all-time record for the longest INT return. And Muskegon's Mackay Guy ran for 6 touchdowns on a playoff win over DeWitt last year, Only 15 players in the MHSAA's history have run for more in a single game. And Guy returns for another season and more opportunities to improve on that. To see the complete list of individual, team, championship game, and coaching records for 11-player and 8-player football, go to MHSAA.com and click Football. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross. We'll see you next week.
Give to Jaden Terry, start step up the middle of the field, 40, big hole 50, he's gone 45, at the 30, left sideline 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Jaden Terry. The tank with an answer. Give read option keeper, whole bunch of space, at the 40, got the 35, 30, up the middle of the field, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Bryce Underwood. And welcome to Game Night. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Tim with you here. Taking it at the 14-yard line with a feet offset by Tyson Mann. Shimmies over the 30. Burst of speed at the 40. Right sideline 50. Able to get away from a tackle. Walking the tightrope at the 30. 25-20. All alone. 10-5. Touchdown Grandville. Walks into the end zone. Touchdown Belleville. The Tigers put it away. 34-17. They're going to go back-to-back. Fake handoff, keeper left side over the 45-yard line, upside under the 40, 35-30, left sideline 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, 7 touchdowns for Mason McKenzie, and Caledonia has just about served this one up on ice. Well, better, and we are in the starting blocks for the MGN Road to Ford Field. Week 2, we are on the air for the first time. It's Grandville, it's Davison, in one of the matchups of the week in the state of Michigan, especially in D1
State here, and it should be an exciting one to kick off our season.
Yeah, no, absolutely, you have to agree. And yeah, this game, I mean, for Davison, a team that, came in certainly with championship-type aspirations. You look at their season and what this coaching staff has been saying. Well, they go out and they beat arguably one of the most talented teams in the state of Michigan, De La Salle, Week 1. Grandville able to handle Grand Blanc the first week of the year for the second straight year, and it sets up this matchup. We're going to learn a lot about where each of these teams are here tonight.
Yeah, I think so. Both teams impressive wins in Week 1 is different ways of doing so. Grandville handling business, taking care in a dominant way, and Davison more of a nail-biter, but able to beat a really solid team. So both teams have some momentum coming into this one, a chance for either to go 2-0. Both teams have their eyes on the playoffs and potential runs even deeper than that. So I think a really good early season matchup for both of these teams, kind of see where they're at.
We've got a ton to get to here on the Centennial Securities pregame show. Of course, thanks to Centennial Securities and Farmers Insurance. Back with Game Night as our presenting sponsors and all of our great supporters with Michigan Sports Radio as well. We have a lot to get to, and we're going to start with this week's pregame interview, and we go straight to Grandville's absolute standout from Week 1. Jaden Terry, the incredible sophomore, had 5 touchdowns and nearly 250 yards rushing. I had a chance to catch up with him earlier this week. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to go to Jaden, and he will help us get ready for this one.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Tailgate Report. Now we go to this week's interview, and it's one that I'm sure a lot of people were expecting, and I think everyone's excited to hear because this young man is simply becoming one of the best players in the state already. As a sophomore, he's coming off an absolutely unreal performance in Week 1, 5 touchdowns, nearly 250 yards. Jaden Terry joins us now here on Game Night. First, Jaden, thanks for your time, and how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And let's get right into it. First, let's talk about it from the team perspective because you guys come in second straight year, opening the year against Grand Blanc. This time you get to host them. Both sides of the ball, you look very, very good. The offense looks good. Tell me about kind of the solid team win and the confidence and importance of being able to win Week 1 the way you guys did.
It was amazing. Being able to host them this time, we had a lot of pump in us. Like we were excited. So we came in this ready to go. We were excited to play. We had to get us a win here. Especially playing at the Bulldog Stadium. So we were playing, doing our jobs. Even after the delay, we came back. We got stopped like the first drive, but it was still like a really good like big excitement we had into the game.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was fun actually getting to be just a spectator, a fan, quote unquote, not calling the game. So I was certainly watching from afar. That's all I did in my hotel room on Thursday night or whatever for the event I was traveling to cover. As I was tuned in, and one of the main takeaways I had from the game, you can talk about this, but tell me about the importance for a team and your mindset in winning week one like that. Being 1-0, that has to be such a huge confidence boost, just in general, let alone beating a good team.
Yeah. Every team would love to, win week one, because the next week you got whoever you play, and they're gonna be like, oh, 0-1. We can't have that. We gotta, start the season off good. Then we're building our confidence up. Getting our heads right, and then as the year go on, our confidence has started from the beginning and has been building up ever since. So it helps a lot coming off 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk about that team you guys do have week two, because this is a really, really tough and really exciting matchup. But sticking with week one, let's talk about you as an individual for a little bit. 5 touchdowns, 242 yards, was it? I mean, just tell me about how well you were seeing the field. Obviously, great blocking in front. I mean, individually, that is got to be the best performance you've ever had on a football field.
Yeah, it is, and I was shocked myself. I'd never had a game like over 2 touchdowns last year, so like to be able to even get 3, I was excited. And then when I put up 2 more, I was just pumped up. My teammates were happy for me, and I was happy because I had the great blocking. I was looking back at the film, I was like, oh yeah, I see Daniel pushing me, getting me 10 yards, and I'm like, this is a great team. This is a great blocking we have up front, and I just want to thank them for that, because I couldn't have done it without them, and that was just wild for me. Like I didn't know how to react myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's kind of go in general, a couple things in terms of either your development and so forth. But first off, I want to tell me a little bit about. You obviously come from such a great football family. Your dad with the history he had, of course, your older brother Cam, you have a younger brother as well. But tell me about, in particular, looking at your dad, looking at your brothers, the importance and the role they've played in you helping develop as a running back.
Yeah, they trained me. We were always trained, and ever since we were like little, like real little. Like I started playing at like 5 years old, tackle football at 5 years old, and for my dad to be coaching me at running back, he was a good player. So to have him coach me at the age of 5 really helped me, get better. And then my brother, watching how he plays, that really helped me too. And then that's how I want to be with like my kids when I'm older, or my little brother. Like it's like I want to keep the legacy going on, because it's really special right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at your summer, because again, reminding everyone, this kid is just a sophomore when we're about to talk about some of the things he did. But this summer, I know you were at a lot of different camps and showcases, and I know Coach McElwain and CMU, have an offer out to you as well, and a lot of other top-level coaches that you've talked to. Tell me about kind of some of the highlights of your summer, some of the different places you went to, just kind of some of the highlights of this summer, your freshman and your sophomore year.
Okay, obviously the real big highlight was getting my first offer after a camp. That was real special. I'm not even lying. Like we were doing one-on-ones, and Coach Petrino came. Not even Coach Petrino. It was the head coach. The head coach came up to me and he gave me the offer like straight up, like after my first rep
That's
of
awesome.
one-on-one, and I didn't even like, I could even like, focus in on the next rep of one-on-ones, because I was just so geeked up. I was so, hyper. So I had no clue what to think about that. And then all the other schools that I've been to, they were just awesome, being able to, show out against, some schools like Michigan State, Western, like those schools like that. And there was other schools that I couldn't even, so I'm trying to hit them up, maybe this upcoming summer.
All right, that's awesome. I mean, I know last week on the show I made a little bit of a joke as well, but I just want to also put out for the record, Mike Hart, Jim Harbaugh, get on it. Get on it with this kid, please. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was such a cool thing to be able to watch your development as a player. Again, we've said it too. Like, we first saw your film when you're like, a sixth grader, and all this is kind of coming up. Like, what is this kid gonna be? Then he's on the roster as a freshman, and like, oh, that's what he's gonna be. And then it turns into what we saw this summer. And I mean, we still have all this season and 2 more years, and I can't wait personally to see where that's gonna go. Let's close it out. Let's look ahead to this week, because I know you guys are just getting in your preparation for the week, but still a short week. Game on Thursday. Davison, they just beat De La Salle. De La Salle might be among, if not the most talented team in the state that doesn't have Bryce Underwood on their team, quite frankly. This team is tough. They're physical. They have a lot of skill. Tell me about some of the things you're prepping for, because it's going to be a really, really tough matchup this week and a chance to really make a statement on the road.
Just to, stay with our heads straight, not get too big up on the who they just beat and who they have on their team. Obviously they have good players, but we gotta not just focus on who they have, and focus on what we have and what our keys are for the game. And I just want to say, I want to throw this out here too.
All right.
AJ Hill, me and him went to some camps together.
Okay.
He's a phenomenal player. Me and him were competing at some camps like Michigan State and Toledo, I know for sure. And yeah, he's a good player, and it's going to be exciting to compete with him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's actually something we had for some of our breakdown highlighted, because the running back battle between the two of you is certainly going to be quite something in this game, and as good of one as I think you are going to find. All right, Jaden, thank you so much for your time. Really, really great stuff. Good luck this weekend, and good luck moving forward as well.
Yep, thank you, guys.
All right, Jaden Terry joined us here on Game Night. Thanks again for his time. We'll be right back here on MGN.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. Michigan Hearing Experts sell and service several brands of hearing aids. Are you having trouble having a conversation or unable to hear the latest play of the game? We perform comprehensive hearing exams and use real ear measurements to ensure optimal functioning hearing aids for your unique needs. Our highly trained doctors of audiology are dedicated to helping you reconnect with your world. Visit MichiganHearingExperts.com to find a location near you and take the first step towards better hearing with Michigan Hearing Experts. Michigan Sports Academies offers quality youth sports in Grand Rapids, Holland, and Muskegon. With a wide variety of programming, MSA has something for new athletes who are just starting out to experienced athletes looking to take their game to the next level. Year-round programming is offered in basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and volleyball. Your athlete will love the quality of instruction from experienced coaches in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore. Check us out at MichiganSportsAcademies.com.
And welcome back here. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you from Cardinal Stadium here in Davison. Already getting closer to the national anthem, kind of moving things ahead. That was actually part of our delay right there, is trying to get the schedule figured out here on the Centennial Securities pregame show. All right, Chandler, let's give some team overviews. Let's start with Davison in this one. Of course, so much has been said about this team and all the pieces that they have, but that Week 1 DeWestyle win, maybe the most impressive in the state of Michigan that any team had, a 31-26 comeback. You know, this is a team that's big. They're physical. They have a lot of talent outside, too, and that's what makes them so dangerous is they can beat you truly both sides of the ball in a variety of ways.
Yeah, they can do a little bit of everything. Offensively, they've got some size along the line. They can run the football. They've got some strong runners and elite talent in the backfield, both quarterback, running back, but also have some talent at the wide receiver position, guys that can spread the football field, can run multiple receiver sets if they're looking to really stretch the field vertically, can do a little bit of anything depending on what they're looking for at that time.
Yeah, and you look at, of course, Grandville, you know, so many questions, but they are able to beat Grand Blanc for the second straight year. Dominant offensive performance. The defense does seem improved from last year. I think we're going to get a lot of questions answered about where the defense is tonight. This really, for a team that, again, they're down on total numbers this year, but not down on talent and skill, this is, I think, the primary measuring stick game that we're going to get until we get into Caledonia and Rockford weeks later in the year.
Yeah, I think really a good test for them. The offense, as you mentioned, looking really strong, and a typical Grandville offense in Week 1. I think the defense made some plays, allowed some longer touchdown runs and some runs after the catch in that late in the first week, but overall looking improved there, and I think a good opportunity for them to really try to prove themselves another quality opponent, as you said, before they get into the OK Red.
So many matchups against you. The quarterback battle, Cash Ruff, Sawyer, Glenny pair are really, really good. Solid seniors, big seniors for each of their teams as well. The Grandville offensive line versus Davison defensive line. That battle in the trenches is going to be absolutely warring all night long, and that might be where this game is won or lost for either team. You flip it to the other side. Can the Davison O-line continue to maul the Grandville, young Grandville front seven? But the main talking point, Jaden Terry talked about in his interview, Terry versus Hill. D1, next level, big-time running backs. They're matching up here today.
Two superstar running backs early on in the season, going stride for stride with each other, and a friendly rivalry on top of that to go along with it. So I think both of those guys setting out with something to prove here, not only for tonight, but I think when you start to look ahead to their college careers as well.
Through the smoke, through the band, the Davison Cardinals are out onto the field. The Bulldogs already joined us on the field just a moment ago, and we're getting close to going in this one. Let's wrap up the Centennial Securities pregame show. I mean, keys to the game, Davison. They're looking to control things up front, but they're looking to do so more with a balance for Grandville. That's really where it's going to be. It's going to be that battle in the trenches. You have to believe with two teams that are physical, that's where this game's going to be won. It's really can be broken down to that at its easiest level.
Always so important for the Bulldogs to control the trenches with the style that they play offensively and on the defensive side as well. And a strong test for them. The Davison Cardinals bring a lot of size and along the trenches on both offense and defense. Going to be a lot of strength on strength there, and he was able to get a little bit more movement.
All right, national anthem on deck. That'll do it for the Centennial Securities pregame show. We got football. Grandville, Davison from Cardinal Stadium. The Bulldogs have traveled to the other side of the state as they look to pull maybe a little bit of an upset and go 2-0 on the year. We will be right back with football here from Davison.
Have you recently collided with a deer or been caught in an unfortunate accident? Don't worry, Car Center Collision and Glass is your trusted partner to bring your vehicle back to life. With convenient branches in Cedar Springs, Burton Heights, Alpine, and Big Rapids, we're right around the corner to provide expert assistance. From collision repairs to mechanical fixes, we're your one-stop solution for all your car needs. Check us out at carcentermi.com. This is a beautiful time of year, but for many, it is also the beginning of allergy season. which means lots of sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, runny nose, constant drainage, or ear pressure. These are all allergy symptoms we regularly treat. Don't let your allergy stop you from enjoying what you love to do outdoors. We have several ear, nose, throat, and allergy specialists ready to see you. Find us online at MichiganENTallergy.com. We look forward to helping you enjoy the outdoors again.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit bowlingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
The 76 Diner and Truck Stop would like to invite you and your families to come and check out their diner. With locations in both Byron Center and Coopersville, they're a great place to stop before or after the game. They have a wide variety of menu choices to feed all the kids. They serve breakfast hot all day, and they're able to accommodate all of your large group needs. Their full menu is available for takeout orders, and they have online ordering at 76truckstopdiner.com.
Welcome back in here, Davison Cardinal Stadium. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you with, again, maybe the matchup of the week in Week 2 here in Division 1. A pair of teams certainly that have got big time aspirations within their divisions and within their conferences first and foremost, and we're going to learn a lot of those talking points here this evening. Tonight's head coaches are Eric Stiegel in his 10th season for the Grandville Bulldogs and Jake Weingarts from the Davison Cardinals. Tonight's coaches are presented by Sporting U. Sporting U. You think it, we ink it. We have what you need to look your best. Check them out at sportingu.com. The Family Fare tailgate special of the week is lean 80% ground beef for only $2.47 a pound. Visit Shop Family Insurance. Play of the game. We'll have our eye out for the Car Center hit of the game throughout this one as well. We will hand that out in the postgame. Davison will be sending this one away to the Bulldogs to open up this contest. Davison in their home yellow uniforms with numbers in maroon, helmets in gold yellow with a maroon cardinal wing on it. The Bulldogs in their traveling white top and bottom. The helmet, of course, is the Grandville maroon helmet with the white block G and a couple stripes down the center. Carson Kopko is the deep man for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs senior, one of their three captains, along with Cash Ruff and Avon Cott this season. Ryder Ferguson, the sophomore, has the ball on the tee and gets ready to send this one away here for the Cardinals. Davison will kick it right to left across your radio dial right here. Ferguson, the sophomore, ball teed up. And away we go, right leg through the ball, driving kick to his right side, taking it at the 2-yard line by Kopko, outside the left numbers, cuts it up at the 10, he's got the 15-20, block at the 30, got a piece of his leg taken out at the 30, and steps out of bounds right there. Good start for Carson Kopko on the left side, take back, and here comes Cash Ruff and the Grandville offense for the first time. The senior quarterback who we saw a little bit of last year, Chandler, but dealt with some injuries. I mean, broke his hand right away in his playoff start that he would have had last year. And, of course, the dangerous backfield, Jaden Terry, the sophomore, Carson Kopko, the senior, and Easton Sidinsky, the junior, will be the starting unit for the Bulldogs. Backs, Connolly and Medewa start at tight end. Jackson, Wiley, DeHaan, Becker, and Weiss across the front line for the Bulldogs. They will mark them out at the 28-yard line. Left hash mark will be the mark out. Ruff steps under center, and a 5 down front comes for Davison. A turn and a handoff goes to Sidinsky up the middle, and he is shut down right away with nowhere to go. And it's Carter Harriman, the big Miami of Ohio bound middle linebacker right in the middle of the stop. The Bulldogs get nothing. It's 2nd and 10 with 20 seconds gone.
Harriman going to be such a big factor in this game at the middle linebacker position. Does a tremendous job stopping the opposing team's run. Of course, the Bulldogs run the football a lot. He's going to be forced to try to really stretch the field and cover a lot of ground and shutting them down, able to do so on first down.
Bulldogs back to the two tight end tee. Rough turns, give to Jaden Terry. Stretch play right side. He's got the 30, and he gets tripped up over the 30 to 32-yard line, engulfed from a trio of tacklers all over him. Ricky Diaz-Ingrados, the free safety, and on the tackle, and the Bulldogs immediately faced with a 3rd and long. It's a 3rd and 9 from the 33-yard line right here for the Bulldogs. 11 minutes to go in the first.
Yeah, run there, able to get a couple yards for Terry. Unable to break it much further over the right side. The Davison defense holding strong here, got 3rd and medium.
Yeah, 3rd and 6 will be the mark. We tick under 10:50 to go here for the Bulldogs. Right hash mark at their own 33-yard line. 3rd and 6, no score early. Davison brings a 5 down front. Cash Ruff under center. Two tight end tee. Bulldogs senior. Here's the turn. Give to Jaden Terry. Up the middle. Pushing ahead and gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage. He'll fall on ahead to as far as the 38. They'll actually mark him back to the 36-yard line. It'll be 4th down and short for the Bulldogs. Cash Ruff back to the sideline, and Coach Stiegel, it looks like Grandville head coach Eric Stiegel again working his 10th year. He is going to keep him out, and they're going to go for it. It is a 4th and 1 for the Bulldogs. 4th and 1. They gave them the 37-yard line on the fall forward. A big moment early here. Two tight end tee for the Bulldogs. Connolly Medeo is the tight end either side. Snap to Ruff. Delayed give. Sadinsky is faked. Quarterback keeper, left side Ruff at the 35. Tries to turn it upfield, lowering the shoulder, looking for the first down, and it looks like he's short, but we'll have to wait for the exact measurement. Maybe they did get it, but also there's a penalty marker down, it looks like, and it looks like it may be a hold against the Bulldogs anyway.
Yeah, Cash Ruff's trying to stretch the field to the left. Was unable to turn the corner, but it looked like a hold on the far side, so he was trying to get that last block to turn it upfield.
That is exactly it. So now it'll go back to being 4th down here for the Bulldogs, and now I think a potentially a little bit easier decision to be made here by Coach Stiegel. Now, the only thing here is, was the mark short, and is Davison possibly going to be declining this penalty? That seems to be what we're waiting on right now. Davison defense is staying out there. A couple of the officials are talking, because when I'm looking at this mark, it looks like they may have Cash Ruff short anyway.
Yeah, it's very close. The defense still out there waiting. The officials talking it over. If they're giving them the first down, then, of course, the Davison sideline is going to accept the penalty, back him up. If they mark him short, you can decline and be a turnover on downs. It looks like, as of right now, they're giving him the first down, and Davison will be accepting the penalty.
I believe that is going to be the case, and that will be the case because it looks like the Bulldog punt unit is coming out onto the field right here. So the Bulldogs get ready to punt this one on away. Very, very dangerous return man gets set to bring this one back for the Cardinals, their senior Buddy Banks Williams. So Grandville now will be backed up inside their own 30-yard line and will punt this one away. For the second straight year, Avon Cott, the senior safety, will also punt for the Bulldogs. He stands at his own 13-yard line. Banks Williams backs to his own 41. Left to right, the Bulldogs will go 3rd and out, and they will be forced to punt this one away to begin. 9:49 and less to go. Clock back to running here in the first. High snap on a leap, settled down by Cott. Right leg through the ball, a very short tumbling kick taken by Banks Williams in space at the 50. Cutting right at the 45 and leveled by Naraki and Graverson inside the 45 to the 44. But very good starting field position here as we will see the Davison Cardinals offense led by senior quarterback Sawyer Glennie come onto the field here for the first time. Next fall, Calvin University debuts its intercollegiate football program, and practice is already underway for Coach Trent Fig and the Knights. This fall, catch Michigan Sports Radio's coverage of the Knights' countdown to kickoff for the debut of Fig on Football, a monthly show and a live broadcast of Calvin football's fall intra-squad game on September 30. So it'll be a 4 wide receiver spread set here for what I said earlier in the week would be a powerful Cardinals team. The tailback is A.J. Hill to the left hip. Here's a snap at the chest. Whistles cutting the play dead. And it is a false start, something that, of course, Grandville defensive coordinator K.J. Landis' defenses are very. Cardinals will start back around right at midfield at the 50-yard line now.
Yeah, some of that Landis magic right there, right away on first down. Good field position starting off for the Cardinals, but nice movement up front from the Bulldogs, causing some confusion along the offensive line and the receivers for the Cardinals and buying themselves 5 yards back to midfield.
Right hash mark right from the 50-yard line. Glennie will work from the gun. Trio of receivers to the left side. The isolated man is Braylon Naves, the junior big-time target. Tailback left hip is Hill. The big senior claps and gets the snap. Drop to pass for Glenny. Has some time. Now pressure comes. Fires deep. Right side. Overthrown at the 10-yard line. Incomplete. Good coverage down the field from Ethan Newville on Braylon Nays. This is a Grandville secondary Chandler that's going to do a lot of different things. Sanchez, Newville, Cott, Rojas. We know about guys like Jaden Terry, Easton Sadinsky, but they're going to flip them around. They're going to play safety one time. If they don't like the matchup, they'll maybe flip them to nickel corner and around. That's the big thing that this Grandville secondary feels comfortable doing this year. It'll be 2nd and 15 here with 9.5 to go first quarter. Long look back to the sideline for the Cardinals. Home, all gold uniforms for the Cardinals. Traveling whites for the Bulldogs. Into the gun, 4 wide receivers set again. Bulldogs bring a 4 down front. Snap to Glenny. Give to Hill, faked. Play action, throws left side, incomplete at the 40-yard line, looking for the outstretched, diving arms of the big junior, Warren Kane. The RPO incomplete, 0 for 2 starting in the pass game, and it's 3rd and 15.
Right away there, Glenny moving his feet. We talked about in our preview show this week, Glenny not necessarily running left on the RPO. Looked like Kane might have slipped just a little bit as the ball was arriving, caused that pass to be incomplete.
Back to work, 3rd and 15 from the 50-yard line. 4 receivers set, 2 to either side. Snap at the waist, back to pass. Glenny backpedaling, firing deep up the middle. Overthrown at the 10-yard line, looking for the outstretched arms of the sophomore Micah Kemp. That'll be 4th down. The punt unit comes on. 0 for 3 passing for Glenny. I mean, we questioned what does this Grandville secondary look like. Very good job starting against these dangerous targets.
Yeah, they're a 3rd and long. Real passing down. The defensive line for the Bulldogs can pin their ears back and really go for the quarterback, and able to do so. 2 or 3 Bulldogs in the backfield rushing that throw just a little bit from Glenny. Coverage pretty good down the field regardless, but that throw forced a little early.
Glenny will be punting. It will be Carson Kopko to return for the Bulldogs. He stands at his own 15-yard line. Glenny will back to the 35. 9:18 to go in the first quarter. No score yet here as both teams have gone 3 and out to start their days. Low snap to Glenny, settles it down. Bulldogs with some pressure coming. Gets the right foot through the ball. High tumbling punt. Fair caught is signaled by Kopko. The ball then takes a very good bounce for Davison, racing towards the end zone. A diving attempt is made at the ball, but it looks like it just falls into the end zone. And Grandville will start at the 20. They nearly had to start right at the 1-yard line. A very, very good bounce, the way that one just kind of died in the turf.
Yeah, some action right towards the goal line there. Looked like the bounce on that one was going to give the Cardinals an opportunity to jump on it and really pin the Bulldogs back deep. Instead, coming back out for the touchback, and really only about 30-35 yards there gained on that punt.
Again, huge shout out to Centennial Securities, Farmers Insurance for all they do for game night. Also buy some merch. You've got the link that is rotating on your screen. We have a great merch shop you can find through MichiganGameNight.com. From the 20, Cash Rough turns. Give here up the middle on a Jaden Terry. Bursts through the first hole, spins over the 25, down to the 26-yard line. He is wrestled and slung on down by Robbie Martin, the sophomore safety. Good run there by Jaden Terry to get about 6 yards after initial contact right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be exactly 6'4" tank on that carry.
Strong carry there, just right up the middle, able to power through the line, able to get their arms on him pretty quickly, but powerful finish to that run, pushing forward. Remember the first 3 and out for the Bulldogs. Short gain on first down, much better gain there, picking up 6.
Big Cash Ruff, 6'4", 205, strides under center. 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs on 2nd and 4 from their own 26. Again, a give straight up the middle, this time to Carson Kopko on the trap, is broken up in the backfield. Blown up by the big boy, Jaden Lockhart. He is a huge defensive tackle, and he slowed that play right from the start. It'll be 3rd and 4, right back where they were at the 26, 8:10 to go in the first.
Kopko never able to get any momentum up the field. Wrapped up right away as he got the football and tried to break through the line of scrimmage. After a good gain on first down, no gain there. Sets another 3rd and difficult, manageable for the Bulldogs, but in a good spot for the Cardinals defense as well.
3rd and 4 here for the Dogs from their own 26-yard line. Turn from Ruff, give to Jaden Terry, shut down over right guard and pushes ahead to nearly the 30. I think he's going to be marked about a half yard short of the line to gain. It'll be decision time, and it won't be much of decision time. They will go for it again. Another 4th and 1 here for the Bulldogs, this time from the 29.5-yard line. Davison brings out a more powerful defensive unit as they shift off one of their edge rushers, Chuck Armstead, for another big nose tackle, and the Bulldogs get ready to go to work here. We have an officials timeout, it looks like, quickly on the field as well while they're getting this settled. Both teams back to the sideline as the officials are having discussion here, CT.
Yeah, not exactly sure why we need a measurement. If the ball started on the 20-yard line as a touchback, the 30 should be the yard to gain, if my math is correct there. And it looks like where the football is short of the 30.
Yeah, it is an inch and a half short of the 30, but it is just short of the 30. They are going to do a measurement, though, here. Now, if they start the measurement at the 21, it's of course... So it's just short. It's exactly what we thought after the measurement, and we are going to have a 4th and 1 here as the Bulldogs offense will get ready to do what we all expected. 7:44 to go. Clock stopped here as the Bulldogs from their own 29 3/4 yard line will get ready to go to work and have to get just less, essentially 1 foot of the yard right here. 2 tight end T. Kopko in the middle of Jaden Terry and Reed Graverson, who checks in here for Sadinski with a power unit. Ruff under center. 5 down front for the Cardinals. Turn from Ruff. Give Jaden Terry. Got the first down, pushing his way ahead to the 34-yard line. A powerful push from Tank will blow it on ahead for the Bulldogs. They move the chains for the first time in this game. We got some chains moved. 7.5 to go in the first.
Yeah, power run right there. Just right away, hand the football off and push forward as quick as you can. After unable to convert on their first 4th down, chance that ended up in a holding and rather a punt, but much better run there, able to break right through the line of scrimmage, fall forward, and get a couple yards.
So Jaden able to get the 34-yard line, and the Bulldogs in between the hashes run back out to this one. Sadinski checks back into the right side of the running back group. 5 down front for Davison. Turn from Ruff. Give on to Sadinski with space, 2 hands on the ball, over the 40. Stutter step ahead to the 44-yard line. Falling, they'll give him the 45, and that's a first down for the Bulldogs. Great job by Sadinski. Kind of just found himself off the misdirection, running in space, and chopped it up into the open field. Diaz and Grados on the tackle, and the Bulldogs move the chains. Good look out of the Bulldog offense here as we tick under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score here between the Bulldogs and the Cardinals.
First big run for the Bulldogs, 11 yards there. Been grinding to that point, but after you convert a 4th down and get a nice run on first down, continue to move the chains.
Ruff under center. Here's the turn from the senior. Give up the gut again to Sadinski. Spin move over the 50 and level down to the 46-yard line for another gain of 9. Very good work by him. I believe it was Martin ranging for the tackle, but how about that? 19 yards on the last couple carries right there from Sadinski, who's running hard.
Yeah, things starting to open up just a little bit. Sadinski finding some room, had to bounce off a couple tacklers that weren't really expecting him to be carrying the football there, and it didn't look like, but able to continue, keep the ball wrapped up, fight forward, now 2nd and very short.
Mark is the 47. That makes it 2nd and 2. The Bulldogs onto the opponent's side of the field for the first time in this game. Turn from Ruff. Gives Sadinski again. Popped in the backfield. Turns the back and falls over the first down marker. Looks like he's got just enough. He got popped right away in the backfield, but he is able to, I believe, just move it. No, that's going to be a mark just short. It'll be 3rd down and inches here for the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, injury, the big senior defensive tackle, Jackson Clark, is down behind the play. I think he was the one that actually kind of popped him in the backfield, but Clark is down on the field and in a little bit of pain right here. So as training staff comes over to have a word with him, we're going to quick step aside. Be right back here from Davison.
Can you identify your number 1 personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here from Davison, and a little bit of help from a pair of trainers. Jackson Clark back up to his feet. You hear the applause as he'll find his way off, but that's a big loss. I mean, they are so big up the middle, Chandler, defensively, and we've seen the way that they've been able to engulf the Grandville run game from that. A really big loss if Clark is going to have to miss some time here.
It's been big early on as part of the Davison interior defense, shutting down those runs in the middle of the defense, closing down those gaps. Big body there. See how much time he misses. Still a relatively warm night here early on in the season. Cramping always going to be a factor. See if he finds his way back onto the field a little bit later.
The senior Connor Cherney will fill his spot in the middle of the defense right here. Bulldogs go 2 tight NT. 3rd and 1 from the Davison 46-yard line. 4 down territory for sure. Turn, give. Jaden Terry fake. Drop to pass. Rolling right rough. Pressure coming off his back foot. Fires a wobbler that's nearly intercepted by Diaz-Grados at the 40. Incomplete. It will be 4th and 1. Great penetration right there. I think it was Jalen Edwards that got in the backfield and forced the quick throw, and that will lead to a 4th and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and inches, not a bad opportunity or a chance to try something down the field. Rough rolling out to his right, trying to find something down the field, unable to do so. Just can't take a sack in that moment and able to get the football away just in time.
4th and 1, back to the 2 tight NT. Bulldogs will go for it with 5:40 in the first and no score. Turn from rough, give to Jaden Terry. Bouncing in the back of his offensive line. It's going to be really close. I think he got the mark on it. He's pushed 4 yards backwards by a quartet of tacklers, but I think the mark is going to be the 45, and I think they just got it. There have been a couple really close marks to make during this drive already.
It'll be interesting. The official on the far sideline was right on the 45, and the one on the near was inches short. Looks like the one on the far side got the football and is going to get to place it down. And by my calculations here, it looks like that'll be a 1st down going with the current location.
Also based on the boos of the home side, I believe that helps tell a little bit right here. We have an official timeout. We are going to measure here again. Carson Kopko just walked by the football and decided just to kind of like look at it quickly and motion forward himself. The ball is, the center of the football is not quite on the line, but the nose of the football is over the line, so it kind of depends based on how the measurement is done right here. As they get the chain gain out there. Oh. So the measurement's going to be short. Well, the measurement's going to be short mostly because, again, I feel like the chain gain started the chain at the wrong point of where this drive, where it should have started. So they're still working on this measurement, trying to get things set. And that's Coach Stiegel is not happy right now. I'm going to let you know. Actually, the entire KJ Landis in particular is not happy. And now they will do the measurement again, and now the chains will move. It's early in the year.
It is.
5.5 to go here in the first. That will move the chains on the mark. Now Coach Weingartz wants an explanation from the coaching staff, CT.
Yep. Chain gang still getting into form early on in the season. I think the problem initially is the marker that marks where the chains are supposed to be got pulled off from the yard line it needed to be, so it looked like it was short after they got things resettled. Eventually getting things in the right place and just barely a 1st down.
All right, Grandville 1st and 10 from the Davison 45-yard line. Rough. Give to Kopko up the middle, stops dead in his tracks, breaks it outside at the 40, outside the numbers 35. He's got the 30, he's got the 1st down. What a run by Carson Kopko right there. He was completely stopped up in the backfield. He put the brakes on, bounced it to the outside, and gets the 1st down for the Dogs up to the 40. Great run.
Yeah, that run completely on the vision of Kopko. A lot of times the middle of the field opens up for him, and he's got a wide lane to run through. That time closed off immediately, and the vision from him to be able to see and bounce that and have the speed get around the outside.
Kopko again in the middle of Jaden Terry to his left, Easton Sadinsky to his right. 1st and 10 for Grandville from the Davison 30-yard line. No score, 5:20 to go in the first. Snap to Ruff, give to Kopko up the middle on the trap. He's got a hole over the 25 and dives down to the 21-yard line. Tackle made by Edwards and Harriman. 8 yards, let's call it, up to the 22 will be the mark. Another good run there from Carson Kopko. All 3 backs playing a good role early. We figured that was going to have to be the case for this Bulldogs offense.
Yeah, I think the more you play against high-quality teams like this Davison defense, you're going to need a balance from your running backs. Of course, the talent of Jaden Terry is going to stand out at all times, but you need all the backs in the backfield there. Kopko, Sadinsky to continue to produce, and they're back-to-back runs from Kopko.
4 down front for Davison, 2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs. Give to Kopko, sidesteps left and gets twisted down after a gain of 1 by Chuck Armstead. It'll be 3rd down and 1 here for the Bulldogs from the 21-yard lines.
Bulldogs finding themselves in a lot of these situations early on, 3rd and 4th, in inches, yards, barely. Now another opportunity here just outside of the red zone to try to convert.
All right, Grandville back to the 2 tight NT right here. They keep the same running back unit out with Sadinsky to the right side. They do not bring in Graverson for this attempt. They half broke the huddle. Now come in for one more word around Cash Ruff, and the senior will let him go. Grandville 3rd and 1 from the Davison 21-yard line. 4 minutes to go, no score in the first quarter. 4 down front of the other side. give to Sadinsky. He's got the first down, and almost nothing more. He'll get tripped and fall straight ahead into the tackling pile to the 19-yard line. The entire inside of the defense helping make that stop right there, including the big junior Jaden Lockhart. So again, the Bulldogs moving the chains, and by the way, with the dangerous Cardinals offense, this has been a perfect game for the Bulldogs. This sort of drive is exactly what they need. It's a little risky to have all these 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s, but the way that the clock has been chewed up has been really perfect. I can't imagine that Coach Stiegel and company could have drawn it up much better. They'll work a little bit quicker right here. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Into the red zone for the first time. 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs. 4 down front on the other side. Ruff. Give up the gut onto Sadinsky, breaks off 1 tackle and dives over the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Robbie Martin on the tackle. The one thing about this offense, though, Chandler, especially you have a team that was pretty much in nickel or even dime packages all of last week against De La Salle's pass attack. All of a sudden, they are all forced for Davison to be doing completely different roles. Guys that are corners last week are playing out almost an outside linebacker role. It really is what kind of messes up a defense, especially early in the year on these sort of drives.
That's a big shift going week to week. You're covering on the outside, having to run down the field versus now stacking the box, trying to play against a run-heavy team and fighting for your life inside the tackles.
2nd and 5, give to Kopko up the middle on the trap, shut down right away after a gain of maybe 1 up the middle. In the middle of things, Carter Harriman, Jalen Edwards right there in on the stop. It'll be 3rd and 4 up to the 14 for the Bulldogs, up to 13, I should say, right here for the Bulldogs. We tick under 2:50 to go, first quarter, no score, and the Bulldogs maintaining this drive. 3rd and 4. They'll break it out right here, traveling white uniforms. Cash Ruff, the senior. He's got a Davenport offer as an athlete on the table. He goes under center. 2 tight end T. Sadinsky staying in here on 3rd and 4. Turn, fake, give to Sadinsky. Got down to Jaden Terry. Terry's got the first. Pulling a defender with him down to the 11-yard line. A nice run from Jaden. A gap scheme run to the right. It opened up a hole, and he moves the chains for a 1st and goal. What a run by the Tank.
Strong run on 3rd and short, able to pick it up. Kind of like the Bulldogs were lulling the Cardinals defense to sleep a little bit. A lot of Kopko, a lot of Sadinsky able to move the chains, and then on 3rd and short there, also have Jaden Terry can hand in the football.
By the way, we've got the Central offered sophomore who had 5 touchdowns last week and so much more, I think, coming up for that young man as well. So great to get to talk to him, by the way. So much like his brother, very well spoken and great to kind of hear his perspective as still just a young player. Grandville to work, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Defense will pack it in here for the Cardinals. Turn from Ruff, give to Terry. Stretch play right side at the 10, outside the numbers at the 5, to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Jaden Terry. But a penalty marker back at the 10 left. I'll wait and see what it is. It'll be against the Bulldogs, and this one's coming back on a hold.
Thrown by the official behind the offensive line. Had a good view as Terry trying to push and stretch that one to the outside. Looked like a hold near the right end of the line.
Well, I at least got momentarily my first Jaden Terry touchdown call of the year on the board, since I missed out on the first 5 of them last week. And now that 1st and goal from the 8 is going to turn into 1st and goal back at the 18 for the Bulldogs, which of course hamstrings this offense a little bit. Kicking game for Grandville. Sophomore Jake Kiernan doing the kicking. By the way, Coach Stiegel did a lot of extra point kicking last week. I don't know what that means in terms of Kiernan, in terms of his field goal ability, but earlier than normal in the game, Grandville started going towards the extra point kicking rather than the 2-point conversion game that, of course, Coach Stiegel plays so often. And from the sideline, Cash Ruff. So again, Grandville now has 1st and goal backed up in between the hashes to the 18-yard line right here. Out of the 2 tight end T, Connolly and big Mike Medeiros, the tight end to the left side of the line. Snap to Ruff. Give on to Sadinsky. 2 hands on the ball. Breaking left. Stiff arm at the 10. Down to the 5-yard line. The tackle made from behind by Jared Augustine Jr. Very, very nice, slow developing run from Easton Sadinsky. And Grandville back into a very manageable position on 2nd and goal around the 5-yard line.
Big run from Sadinsky there following the penalty that backs him up. Able to get most of that yardage back.
Mark is going to be the 8-yard line, so they actually get all of that yardage back exactly. 2nd and 8 for Grandville. Cash Ruff in from the sideline. Ball now goes to the left hash mark. Grandville driving left to right here against the Cardinals from Davison Cardinal Stadium. Sun starting to sink a little bit lower here onto this really beautiful brand new turf stadium. Snap to Ruff, fake give to Sadinsky, on to Terry, up the middle, blown up the line of scrimmage with nowhere to go. He got his legs all twisted and caught up by Carter Harriman, who soaked that play up. It'll be 3rd and goal inside the final minute of the first quarter.
Terry just barely got his legs wrapped up kind of into the pile, was looking to bounce it. wrapped up on the inside and got just enough of the ankle to take him down.
It's third down.
Both units changing out some members right here. Most of the defense. We take under 35 seconds to go in the first. 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. No score here in the first quarter. Bulldogs out of the 2 tight end tee. Connolly, Medeo is the tight ends. Sadinsky, Kopko, Terry the back, so whistle on the field. And Coach Stiegel is going to call a timeout and take a second to talk about this a little bit. So he takes his first timeout of this football game. 26 seconds on the first quarter clock here from Davison. Again, thanks to Centennial Securities and Farmers Insurance. You see them rotated on screen all game long, our 2 presenting sponsors at Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Also, like I said, make sure you visit the merch shop on MichiganGameNight.com and our Michigan Sports Radio page. Check us out on social media, Twitter, X, Facebook, YouTube, and of course our new, it still says new, it's still a newest, our Instagram account and more. Check out our YouTube page for every week. If you're a new Davison or new Grandville listener, we do what's called the MGN Football Tailgate Report. About an hour or so long video podcast. We talk to a player, we break things down, we do a lot of kind of fun things on that as well. So Grandville back out, 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. 26.3 on the clock, first quarter. No score here. And Cash Ruff looking to the sideline here. He's got the call in. Davison packs in the defense. 2 high safeties though. Snap to Ruff. Give on to Kopko, up the gut, and Kopko got tackled initially. He then got hit late. His helmet was off. A penalty marker got thrown in. I think there might be an unnecessary roughness or a late hit call here. We're going to have to wait to see exactly what it is, Chandler.
Yeah, Kopko shut down initially right in the middle of the line, but as you said, his helmet came flying off, and we'll see if they get a face mask. Somehow Kopko's helmet was thrown out of the pile, and he came up pretty agitated afterwards looking for a penalty call.
He, of course, has to come off the field here. Looks like Miguel Rojas will take his place. Officials are talking about it. The PA did just make the announcement the penalty will go against the Cardinals. Threw the marker down. They're trying to figure out, I guess, where the placement of this penalty happened. Sure, working out what down it'll be as well. And again, it all depends on what the penalty is actually going to be right here as well. 21.1 first quarter clock. We've had a couple of pauses in this one. Otherwise, it would have been a very fast-moving first quarter. No score. And Grandville has spent most of this first quarter on this drive that has involved 4 or 5 first down conversions already. It is a face mask against the Cardinals in Davison.
Will remain 3rd down, it looks like, the signal. So after the penalty, the clock will run down here at the end of the first quarter.
Yep, so Coach Stiegel going to be willing to take it into the locker room for the 3rd and goal play that is coming up. So we'll step aside as well. No score after 1 from Davison here between Grandville and the Cardinals of Davison.
The 76 Diner and Truck Stop would like to invite you and your families to come and check out their diner. With locations in both Byron Center and Coopersville, they're a great place to stop before or after the game. They have a wide variety of menu choices to feed all the kids. They serve breakfast hot all day, and they're able to accommodate all of your large group needs. Their full menu is available for takeout orders, and they have online ordering at 76truckstopdiner.com.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timber with you here on Game Night, getting ready for a 3rd and goal play from the 4 off a face mask penalty against the Cardinals, and Grandville will get ready to go for it here again. 12 fresh minutes up on the board for the second quarter. Grandville in the traveling white uniforms, helmets in maroon, black white G on the helmets. It's the home gold yellow uniforms for the Cardinals with numbers in maroon. Ball in between the hash marks, and Cash Ruff will bring his unit out. It'll be Carson Kopko in the middle of Jaden Terry to his left, Easton Sadinsky to his right. The left tight end is Mike Medeiros. The right tight end is Gibson Connolly. 3rd and goal from the 4 here for the Bulldogs. No score. There's the whistle, and we are back underway for the second quarter. Snap to Ruff. Give up the middle to Sadinsky, blowing through the first tackle. 2 hands on the ball, falls into the end zone. Touchdown, Grandville. The Bulldogs strike first.
What a drive from the Bulldogs. Going length of the field, eating up a ton of clock, allowing the Cardinals only 1 offensive possession in the first quarter, marching down multiple conversions on 3rd and 4th down, eventually punching it in on a strong run from Sadinsky.
What a great drive from Sadinsky. When they needed some muscle, he got it. Reminds you a little bit of some of what Tyson Mann was able to do last year for the Bulldogs. And Coach Stiegel is going to kick the extra point right here. It will be Newville to hold, so backup quarterback and safety Ethan Newville to hold, and it will be the sophomore Jake Karanen, the sophomore, to look to add the XP right here for the Bulldogs. Here's a snap down, right leg through the football, and that kick is pure for Karanen. 7-0 Grandville with 5 seconds gone in the second. We will be right back as Easton Sadinsky strikes first for the Dogs.
What would you do with some extra time? Shop Fastlane today.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
All right, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer here at Cardinal Stadium in Davison. Grandville striking first, right to left. Jake Karen after adding the extra point. Really, the main development of the game is that Coach Stiegel just kicked an extra point on the first touchdown of the game, as Karanen will get ready to send this away to a pair of deep men. It'll now be A.J. Hill that goes the deepest. This is a pooch kick at the 32-yard line that is fair caught, and that is where the Davison attack will start. So Karanen pooch kicks the first of the game, and here his first kick of the game, and this will bring out Sawyer Glennie and the rest of this Davison offense that has been on the sideline for a very long time as they get ready to go to work, now down 7-0.
They only had 1 opportunity with the football in the first quarter. Didn't gain any offensive yards. Had a false start that set them back. A couple incomplete passes. Now finding themselves back on the field in the second quarter after a long time off, trying to come up with some answers to respond to the Bulldogs' touchdown.
Mark will be the 34-yard line, and they will go to the power, a little bit different set. They go a trio of tight receivers to the right side, 1 man to the left. Here's a snap to Glennie. Pitch right side to A.J. Hill at the 30. Outside the numbers at the 40, and a really nice tackle is made after a gain of about 5 right there at the 40-yard line by Avon Cott, who chased him down and locked up the big-time prospect A.J. Hill.
A big hit delivered in the open field. It was looking like it was going to be a solid run for Hill. Still able to get 4 yards, but the big hit at the end, Hill shaking it off a little bit. Looks like he'll be fine, but I think that's the number 1 adjustment from the first drive for the Cardinals is get your running back, your star running back involved right away, a carry on first down.
They go back to the same look on the right hash with a trio of receivers and a diamond left, and a false start is coming. One of those receivers got an early start on the snap to the left, and that will turn 2nd and 5 back into 2nd and 10 here for the Cardinals. I think it was Wesley Hughes, who we didn't see on the first drive, that potentially was the one that went early. It was either him or Banks Williams. They kind of both drew each other in the wrong direction. It's a false start, and that'll be 2nd and 10 here.
Coaching staff asking who it was. Looked like the official signaling number 3, which would be Banks Williams on the far side, getting an early start there, but now 2 possessions and 2 false starts for the Cardinals on offense.
They would go 3 wide receiver set here as they bring in Caleb Charkin for the first time in this game to be the H-back off the left side of the line. So a little bit different looks in this game than maybe some of what we expected them to bring. 2 receivers left. They isolate Naves to the right side. Hill the tailback to the right hip of Sawyer Glennie. Bulldogs with a 4 down front on 2nd and 10. Here's a high snap, faked, thrown right side, caught by Naves on a slant pattern over the 50, and he's blown up at the 47-yard line. Tumbles down to the 45 by Avon Cott. but a good first down as they get him in space on the crossing pattern right there. First down, Cardinals.
Another RPO look, quick shoulder handoff in the backfield, and then hit the slant route across the middle of the field for a big conversion.
Working quickly up to the Grandville 46-yard line. Back to a 3 wide receiver set from the shotgun. Bulldogs showing some pressure right here off the edge. Snap to Glenny. Throws it left side on a screen. Caught by Banks Williams. Twists away from the defender at the 45-yard line and stutters on ahead to the 41, where he's chased down from behind by the Bulldog edge rusher, Emery Moody. It'll be second down. They had a chance to blow that play up in the backfield, just unable to do so, and it will turn into a second and medium right here.
Open field, a quick screen pass out to the outside. Cotton had a chance, had him around the legs, unable to finish the tackle.
Second and 5 from the 41. Back to the gun. 4 down front for the Bulldogs. Wing back to the right side of the line. Tailback to the right side. Snap to the senior Glenny. Fake handoff. RPO. Rolling right to pass. He clutches. He fires deep over the middle. Intercepted. Jackson Sanchez at the 10-yard line. He takes it over the 15. And he's tackled from behind to the 18. An underthrown high pass. Picked off by the Bulldogs senior. And the Dogs take it over.
Yeah, severely underthrown football from Glenny. He saw the receiver down the middle of the field and tried to get enough air underneath it. He had Kemp running open down the field and just saw it a little too late. Couldn't get enough on the throw and allowed Sanchez plenty of time to roam underneath that football and intercept it.
Sanchez, a guy last year, Chandler, that we didn't see a ton of for the Bulldogs. He's definitely coming to a big role this year as a senior. The second quarter is brought to you by Michigan ENT and Allergy Specialists. Their physicians specialize in allergy treatments, helping you find relief and get back into the game. Bulldogs go 2 tight NT from their own 19-yard line after the INT, leading 7-0. Here's a turn and a give to Jaden, or onto Kopko. The ball came free, and it's fallen on by Davison. Diaz-Sangrados able to get it away, and the Bulldogs turn it right over after the INT of their own, and now it's just outside the red zone, and everything's a wash.
Some big momentum swings right here. An interception, looking like Bulldogs are going to have an opportunity to extend another long drive and try to add on to the lead, but right away the
So Cardinals now from the Grandville 24-yard line go back to work out of the 3 wide receiver set they were just utilizing. Now it'll be Hill as the H-back to the right side of the line, not Sharkin. Snap here to Glenny. Fake handoff, RPO, thrown, caught, Banks Williams 10-yard line, and twisted down at the 6 by Ethan Newville. First down and goal.
Another RPO look. Quick slant route on the outside to Banks Williams. The defender playing off enough to throw in there. Barely able to get Williams down to the ground, but now inside the goal line, inside the 10-yard line for the Cardinals.
Cardinals bringing out the power unit right here as Glenny will go under center out of the power eye. The deep back is going to be Carter Harriman. Turn, give to Harriman. Stuffed and falls ahead into the 4-yard line. The tackle made by Graverson as he met up the line of scrimmage. Harriman lowered the shoulder for 2. Second down and goal.
Bringing in Harriman, a strong runner near the goal line, trying to get him between the tackles. The power forward gets a couple yards on first down.
All right, they go back here, the power eye formation. Glenny under center. Single wide receiver left is Kane. Glenny strides under, feet off center, turn, give, Harriman right side, stuffed at the line of scrimmage again. Trewa Bulldogs all over him. It's third down and goal from the 4.
Harriman on the carry for the Cardinals.
Looking like the Cardinals first and second down, trying to go power after they've been spreading it out all game long. Back-to-back carries for Harriman. Bulldogs doing a pretty good job shutting that down along the defensive line.
They're going to spread it out right here as that power unit goes back to the sideline around Coach Weingart's. And they will work out of a 4 wide receiver set. Third and goal from the 4-yard line. Hill back in at tailback. 2 receivers to either side here. Ball in between the hashes at the 4. Spreading the field. 4 down front for the Bulldogs. Banks Williams in motion left to right. Here's Glenny. Throws right side. Caught Banks Williams at the 5. Turns it upfield. Knocked out of bounds by Cott to the 1-yard line. It's 4th and goal. Great job again. Avon Cott Chandler has been so impressive, ranging and making tackles for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, able to get along the sideline. It was a race to the pylon along the front side, or the near side, and Cott able to bump Banks Williams out of bounds just in time.
Another meeting of officials right here. Is there a penalty marker potentially down on the field? Is that what they are discussing? We'll have to see. The officials continuing their discussion right here around the 5-yard line, 3 of them doing so. 8:18 to go, second quarter, 7-0 Grandville. We're looking at a 4th and goal here for Davison right now after they got shut down to Banks Williams around the 1-yard line, even caught on the tackle. Glennie looking back to the sideline, talking to Coach Weingarts right now about this as the officials are meeting as well. We're waiting to hear a call or at least see a mark right here. Lead
on one hand, if that being the call for the Cardinals, it works out a little bit. Another chance on 3rd down will back them up 5 yards, but instead of having to try to make a decision on 4th and goal from the 1, it'll back them up.
The officials are talking to Coach Steve. If he has a chance to decline this, he might be thinking about declining it. Depends on if it was dead ball before the play or not, or what the situation is going to be. Again, early in the season, so this officiating crew taking their time to get things set. Now it looks like we are going to be working on this 4th and goal from inside the 5-yard line. That's where they're at least marking things out, it would appear, at the moment. A little bit of confusion here at Davison. Now the ball getting...
Flag goes against the Cardinals.
It will get marked backwards. So flag is against the Cardinals. It's false start on the illegal movement pre-snap. And it will now be 3rd and goal back to the 9-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 9. 8:18 to go in the first half. Grandville a 7-0 lead. The TD run from Easton Sidinsky. Again, the Cardinals go 4 wide here. Glennie, the senior quarterback, leaning in. Right foot offset in front of the left. Bulldogs showing some pressure. Snap at the helmet of Glennie. Drop to pass. Tucks it down. Evades the tackle. He's got the 5. Twisted away for another tackler. Shut down at the 2-yard line. Cott able to join Braylon Haney to make the stop. And we're kind of right back to where we would have been anyway. 4th and goal from around the 2-yard line.
Glennie dropping back to pass. Looked like they were trying to get a screen set up, allowing the defensive line to get some pressure in the backfield, but Glennie had to step up, try to avoid the pressure. Never had time to try to dump it off. Forced to pick up what he could with his feet and get down near the 3-yard line.
It'll be the 3-yard line. 4th and goal from the 3 for Davison. Home, all gold uniforms here with 7.5 to go in the second quarter, first half. And a 4th down. And goal from the 3. They go back here to the power I, but they will keep A.J. Hill as the deep back out of the power I. So Hill now serving as the I back. Kane, the wide receiver, isolated out to the left. He'll be watched by Rojas. Now Coach Weingarts will call a timeout here for the Cardinals. They want to take a chance to talk about this, and we will take a timeout as well.
Royal is fun. Royal is teamwork. Royal is growth. Royal is innovative. Royal is we are Royal.
This is the pizza the other guys wish they could make. Keep dreaming. Jets. Better because it has to be.
Kroll Furnace is upgrading your comfort with the Daikin Fit system, featuring adaptive heating and cooling. Call us today to learn more about this innovative system. Kroll Furnace, keeping you comfortable for 4 days.
All right, we're back. Power I formation. 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. 7-0 Grandville. 7:17 to go in the second. And Davison looking to punch it in. Snap, turn, fake give, bootleg right to pass. Caught at the goal line. Jalen Edwards on the grab. Touchdown, Davison. Jalen Edwards, the H-back. Able to range out into space. Find his way into the end zone. It's 7-6 with 7:12 to go in the second quarter.
Here's the goal line on the 3 with your running back Hill in the ball game after he'd been out in the power formations earlier. I think Bulldogs seeing that, expecting run, but they go play action pass, dump it off in the flat, punch it in from 3 out.
So Ferguson, the sophomore, will come back in here and look to add the extra point, not the game. Coakley to hold. Snap down, kick is up, nearly blocked. And that one is through the uprights. And good, tied at 7. 7:12 to go in the second quarter. We'll be right back.
There's something for everyone on Pizza Ranch's legendary buffet. Our pizza buffet features hot, cheesy goodness, slice after slice after slice. Try our signature pizzas or request your favorite combination with our Buffet Your Way option, and you'll get the first piece. With endless possibilities, you're sure to find your ranch favorites. Everyone will agree that cactus bread is the perfect dessert to end your meal. For legendary food that everyone loves, there's so much to love at Pizza Ranch.
167 horsepower, candy red, 8 cylinders of freedom. And to think, he only let me drive it once. I've never considered myself to be a lucky man. That would be Dad. He didn't know a thing about cars, couldn't tell a hatchback from a quarterback. But somehow his just kept going.
All right, welcome back here to Davison. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. Jalen Edwards TE grab. The Cardinals have knotted things at 7 in a defensive slugfest so far here on the east side of the state. Left to right, Maybe Ryder Ferguson sending it away to the Bulldog. Deep man, Kirsten Kopko, right leg to the ball. High, twisting kick right up the middle of the field. Taken just at the left hashes at the 1 yard line by Kopko. At the 15-yard line, he is shot down with nowhere to go. A great job running in and shutting that play down by the senior Gavin Elmquist. And the Bulldogs have got to go a long way. They'll start at their own 15-yard line. Again, such a big change in momentum those last couple drives. Grandville gets the INT from Sanchez, but then they fumble it away themselves, and Davison goes down the field and scores. Grandville had a chance to choke out the rest of this half. Instead, they have
Bulldog potentially have had, but 3 drives for both squads, both offenses. Touchdown, a turnover, and a punt for each of them.
2 tight end T. Rough give to Jaden Terry. Hand in the back of a defender over the 20, and that's as far as he'll get as he gets tripped up to about the 20.5-yard line. I think Edwards, fresh off the touchdown, the 20-yard line. Grandville huddled around. They'll break it now. Heido also credited on that stop right there from cornerback, a 6'2" junior. Bulldogs traveling whites will break it out from their own 20-yard line, tied at 7 with 6.5 to go in the second. Here is the tee. 4 down front for the Cardinals. Turn, give to Kopko up the middle, hesitates past Harriman and dives to the 24-yard line. Lockhart standing over top of him. It'll be 3rd down and inches again for Grandville right here again. They give themselves about 3rd and a foot on 1st down or on 3rd down.
Pretty good patience from Kopko up the middle, keeps the feet moving. A little second effort to put
out. 3rd and 1 from their own 24-yard line. Loaded up front line for the Cardinals. Give to Terry, stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Low line, but Terry got shut down and found a way to get what he needed.
Yeah, between the guards there, Terry trying to go right through the middle of the defense, but the Cardinals able to force a pile there. Terry running in the back of his own lineman. That vision again, not a long run there, but enough to see he had to bounce it just a little bit back to the left. Able to fall forward and pick up the 1st down.
7-all, Grandville from their own 27-yard line. 1st down, fake give to Terry, then on to Sadinsky. Sidesteps a defender and lowers the head to the 34-yard line. Tackle made by Jared Augustine Jr. Good run, though, by Sadinsky for about 5 there on 1st down as he sidesteps his way into the open field.
Yeah, so important for the Bulldogs on 1st down to get a run like that, 4, 5, 6 yards. Makes the rest of the
turn from Ruff, give to Terry, stretch play right side, broken up and blown up in the backfield. Carter Harriman blew that play up. A big celebration from him. Jaden Lockhart helped as well. That's a loss of 3 or 4 yards plus for Jaden Terry.
Harriman able to fly up right away, meet Terry in the backfield before he could ever get full speed and get to the sideline.
It'll go back to the 32-yard line. It'll become a 3rd and 6 right here for the Bulldogs. 4:20 to go. Clock ticking down, 2nd quarter. Tied at 7. 3rd and medium for the Bulldogs. 2 tight end T. 4 down front for Davison. Turn from Ruff, fake give, drop to pass. Ruff fires over the middle, caught by Connolly at the 40. Racing in the open field at the 30. At the 25-yard line, he is just caught up in shoestring, tackled by Diatson Rados. A big 1st down around the goal line. Gibson Connolly on the reception, and the Bulldogs move the chains.
Yeah, the way this game's been going, grinded out on the ground almost entirely for the Bulldogs. Tried going to the air earlier. You knew the penalty down the field. Good throw over the middle between the hashes for Cash Ruff.
Number 21 able to get it up to the 21 there for Connolly, and the Bulldogs go 1st and 10 from the Davison 21-yard line. 3:50 to go first quarter. We're knotted at 7. Kopko in the middle of Jaden Terry and Easton Sadinsky. Here's Ruff. Fake give, then gave it on to Jaden Terry. He stutters over right guard back to around the 20-yard line. He'll get maybe a yard. Lockhart, the big guy on the tackle, it is 1 yard up to the 20. A 2nd and 9 here for the Bulldogs. We take under 3.5 to go. Bulldogs able to, at minimum, kind of flip the field right here in this battle for field position. Also, they'll have a chance to take the clock down as this is going to turn into what we know Grandville games to be. Davison wants to go fast. They want to put points on the board. They have the ability to do so. Grandville, of course, they can put points on the board. We saw that, but in a game like this, they can grind you down. We go under 3:05 to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 9 for Grandville from the 20. Give to Terry on the stretch play. Avoids a tackler in the backfield, walking the tightrope along the 20, breaks it outside the numbers to the 15, and down to the 11 where he walks out of bounds. What a run by Jaden Terry, sidestepping and eluding a couple of tackles before Harriman pushes him out. He should be right up along the first down marker. There is a flag, though, on the far side of the field down. Chandler motion to me looks like it may be a face mask. I'm throwing you under the bus. Yeah. It's going to be a face mask, looks like, against the Cardinals. That will move the chains for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, hopefully I got this one right, but it looked like Terry had the face mask ripped as he was able to break a tackle almost in the backfield. He was still getting the handoff and was dodging a tackle. It does look like it'll be a face mask and
that will make it 1st and goal up to the 6-yard line here for the Bulldogs. Big opportunity. We go 2:56 in the first half, tied at 7. As Grandville Chandler continues to really try to stymie their way into a statement, and they can go up as we near halftime right here. Cash Ruff strides under center. Medeois to the left side of the line as the tight end. They bring in the power unit with a pair of big tight ends to either side. Give on here to Sadinsky over left guard. He'll run it up to the 5, and on forward progress into the pile, we'll get around the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal from there. We tick under 2:45 in the first half.
Of course, the Bulldogs want to punch this one in whenever they get the opportunity to, but on a short game like that, still moving the right direction, keeping the clock moving, get this thing even closer to halftime, and ideally, Coach Stiegel going to want as little time left on the clock as possible.
Tackle made by Martin, the sophomore safety. Cash Ruff in from the sideline. Bulldogs moving right to left across your radio dial, looking to dive into the end zone. The end zone says Cards. The D is the Davison Cardinals logo in that end zone. The end zone in maroon. Under center, Cash Ruff. 2nd and goal from just inside the 5-yard line. Give to Terry, stretch play right side, nice block, and he'll dive ahead to the 2-yard line. A lunging tackle made by Jalen Edwards may have saved a touchdown. It'll be 3rd and goal from around the 1.5-yard, 2-yard line.
Give credit to the Cardinals defense, the second level, the linebackers, and some of the secondary as well coming up, having to make some tackles there. Not easy to do. Of course, the field crunch down here close to the goal line. Going to be asked to do that once again on 3rd and goal.
Bulldogs break it out right here. They bring Naraki in as a power tight end to the right side. 3rd and goal from just inside the 2-yard line. Snap, give, Graverson up the middle. Touchdown, Grandville. Reed Graverson subs in and bowls his way in. The Bulldogs back on top, 13-7 with 1:28 in the first half.
3rd and goal from the 2-yard line, bringing in some power, bringing your linebacker and your power running back. Sub in there, give him the football and let him go to work. Easily able to push across the end zone there and add a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Another big response is getting closer to halftime.
Graverson had just 1 touchdown a year ago. He adds one right here. Jake Kiernan will look to add the extra point. Newville to hold. Snap down, right foot through the football. Low driving kick right down the middle. 14-7 Grandville with a 1:28 in the first half. We will be right back.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
All right, Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here from Davison. And the Bulldogs on the board. It was 5 from Jaden Terry last week, 1 from Cash Ruff. This week, mixed it around. Sadinsky a touchdown, Reed Graberson a touchdown for the Bulldogs. CT is their offense able to do a lot of what they needed to. Is the pass game that really opened up that touchdown with a long throw down the field to the ranging tight end Gibson Connolly. Kiernan right to left across your radio dial. Goes to another angling pooch kick that is fair caught at the 29-yard line outside the numbers by Peyton Coakley. And here comes the Davison offense. 1:30 to go. So Sawyer Glennie and company have to work a little bit quickly as they look to knock the game up one more time before the half. They will get the ball, the Cardinals will, to start the second half as well.
Yeah, if there's an offense between these two that likes to work a little bit faster and is maybe built to execute in some time shortage situations, it would be the Davison offense. Going to be pushed for time here a little bit, but they have the quarterback and the playmakers, the receivers on the outside to try to do something here. 2 timeouts remaining, also to stop the clock if needed.
Bulldogs defense on the field, waiting for the Cardinal offense here in a moment. 1:28 to go in this second quarter. So the mark will be the 30 here for the Davison offense, and here they come. Sawyer Glennie to run the offense, and they will spread it out. Ball from the left hash mark. They go 4 wide receiver set to 2 with 2 receivers to either side. A.J. Hill, dynamic junior running back, to the right hip, just offset here from Glennie. High white socks for the senior quarterback. Delayed give on the hill, broke a tackle 35, racing in the open field at the 40, and he shimmies on ahead to the 49 where he gets tripped up by Rojas from behind. A good first down run as we see twisting into the open field A.J. Hill for the first time on that delayed draw.
Yeah, maybe a little counterintuitive catching the Bulldogs expecting pass there. They go delayed handoff, and it's effective getting them across midfield on play 1. Now really have an opportunity.
They wanted to go up-tempo, Coach Weingarts and company did right there, but I think A.J. Hill came up a little bit limping at the end of the play, and they instead called their first timeout of second timeout of this half to talk about things a little bit. 1:21 to go in this first half of play. You can be able to see us here. Let's flip it around into the broadcast booth. You can see me, and you can't see Chandler, so maybe we'll sit down. That'll work a little better. We'll welcome you inside here. Outside. What a beautiful night. First off, if there was one night that we had to be outside, this certainly is the night. A really beautiful night for football. Sun starting to go down behind us a little bit right here, but it feels like a big moment. Already starting to come up right here as we'll break out of this timeout. Grandville defense with a big chance to help, kind of win this game or at least win the early momentum in this thing.
Yeah, the Bulldogs defense has been pretty strong on the night when they've had the full field to work with. Here now, just across the midfield stripe for the Cardinals. And a quick big gain there on first down. Cardinals going to have a couple chances here to try to go the rest of the field and score another touchdown.
1st and 10 from the Grandville 49 from the gun. High snap, nearly evades Glennie. He's able to spin to get it. Now he steps deep into a throw up the middle of the field. Dropped by Naves at the 5-yard line. I think Avon Cott may have just gotten a fingertip on it as well on its way to Naves. It will be 2nd and 10 from the 49, but they nearly broke a man wide open downfield right there from Glennie.
Naves was open once again. It's the second time. That one not quite as severely underthrown by Glennie, but if he's able to get that ball out in front of Naves, it's an easy touchdown. But a little too much air and a little too late. Allows Cott to recover and get his hand in there. I think you're right. I think he got just his fingertips on it. Caused just enough for an incompletion.
2nd and 10 right back from midfield. Ball on the left hash mark. Bulldogs bring 4 down linemen, 4 wide receivers for Davison, 3 to the right. High snap over the helmet of Glennie, settled down, runs to his right, throws, looking for Banks Williams, and he overthrows Banks Williams big time at the 35-yard line, out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Glennie been running. They've kind of moved the pocket a little bit. The Bulldogs have been able to defensively on him a little bit. A couple missed throws, and that was one right there. I think also just trying to put in a place where no one would be able to get it if his guy couldn't. It'll be 3rd and 10 from the Grandville 49-yard line. The Bulldogs lead by 7, 14-7, with 1:10 to go in this first half. Glennie back to the gun. Ball on the left hash mark. They go 4 wide receiver set. Tailback to the right hip is A.J. Hill. Long word coming into from the sideline. Bulldogs spread it out defensively with a 3 down front. Glennie now looks back to the sideline. A long call coming from Coach Weingart, so offset the feet. Here's the snap to the senior at the helmet. Drop to pass. Pressure coming. Now a good pocket able to form up. He'll tuck it down. He'll run left to the 45-yard line and gets knocked out of bounds to the 41. A penalty marker. A couple of them come out. They're going to call it, I guess, a late hit as he may have been giving himself up to go out of bounds, Chandler. That's what the Davison side will say, but the contact was made in bounds.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up being a late hit out of bounds. That's kind of a tough break for the Bulldogs. Looked like Graverson delivered that hit. Glennie was sidestepping, was not giving himself up, it looked like from here at least. He was tiptoeing along the sideline, was going to try to pick up the first down as it's third down, trying to avoid that fourth down situation. Graverson kind of lowered the shoulder and knocked him out. It was a hard hit, but I do believe Glennie was still in.
Eric Stiegel is incensed and right in the face of the officials. KJ Landis not far behind him. You already probably knew that without me even painting the picture for you, as those two are very, very animated on the play. Coach Stiegel is still going at the officials, still angry as they're discussing this one. So I think our first read on what this is going to be might be exactly what it is. And that's the kind of big drive-changing potential call as well. It looked like Grandville made the stop to make it 4th and short, and instead this is going to move down well inside their own territory if it is the personal foul on the late hit call.
Yeah, at a minimum, a long discussion here, but I do think eventually we're going to get some yardage tacked on for the late hit, in which case a lot of free yardage here, going to move the Cardinals closer to the end zone. Still have a timeout remaining, just over a minute left, but Coach Stiegel trying to get his side of the story in there at a minimum and see what the officials come up with.
Now, mark is currently the 40. We have an official running. Looks like we're going to have a call potentially made in just a moment. They're talking to Coach Weingartz as well. Sun continuing to set right here. Some palms up now from the Davison side as well. And there it is. There's a hold against Davison.
There was multiple flags on the field.
And then there's the personal foul against Grandville. So a hold against Davison and a personal foul against Grandville. And it's going to all equal out. We're going to go right back to where we were, 3rd and 10 from the 49-yard line. Wait a minute, no, it's actually going to be 4th and 1. Now they're going to change the mark to the 39, which was the line to gain, and give them the first down. The original mark was the 40. Nope. Now we have a 4. But the ball is at what should be the line to gain. The officials are talking right here.
It should be first down is what they're
signaling. It should be. So they've decided to change the mark. It'll be first down up to the Grandville 39-yard line. There it is. 1st and 10 from the Grandville 39. 4 wide receivers set. Out of the confusion, we have football. Snap to Glennie, and penalty markers down, and a false start is on its way. That'll make it 1st and 10. I would say above all else, a couple turnovers, a lot of penalties for both teams. It's what you kind of expect, especially in a big matchup, and a physical big matchup early in the year like this.
Yeah, very sloppy sequence as we're closing in on the end of the first half. Teams exchanging penalties here, is still trying to get the clock down here, and still over a minute left, but both teams committing some and going back and forth, and eventually the ball ending up essentially right where it was before the flags.
All right, 1st and 15 from the 44-yard line. Trio of receivers stacked to the left. Hill goes in motion. They'll go 5 wide receivers set, empty backfield. High snap to Glennie, dropped a pass. Glennie stepping forward, he'll run over the 40 into a trio of Bulldogs, tackled down to the 38-yard line. So that'll be about a 2nd and 9, and we have a timeout, the final one from the Davison sideline, called with 53 seconds on the clock as Glennie steps forward. And that's kind of his game. Again, he's not an overly fast into the open field runner, not a Mason McKenzie type runner when you think of Grandville opponents from a year ago, but he is very mobile in the pocket. He can shift things around. We saw that right there as he's able to kind of create some yards out of what was a about to be blown up play.
Able to get the yardage back from the false start, a play before. Had multiple receivers, 5 out after they motion Hill out of the backfield and into the slot. But I think the Grandville defense is probably going to take that in that situation. You've got your defense stretched out a little bit, playing some coverage down the field, and you're able to force the quarterback a little bit due to your pressure, forcing him to step up in the pocket and tuck it. He did get 6 yards, but I think in the situation, the Cardinals probably trying to get something further down the field there on a deep pass attempt.
All right, stay with us. We'll have the Farmers Insurance halftime show coming up in, I think, a minute. This has been a long minute of the last show of game clock here. So it'll be a 2nd and 9 from the Grandville 38-yard line for Davison. 53 seconds to go in the second quarter. Grandville leading 14-7. Left hash mark, 3 wide receivers set to the right. Bulldogs bring a 3 down front. They spread out the defense. Snap to Glennie off the clap. It's high. He settles it down. Bootleg right to throw. Off the back foot. It is lobbed up and caught at the 25-yard line. Racing ahead to the 10-yard line. Micah Kemp, the sophomore, on the grab, got the first down. just kind of placed that ball in a little bit of a lob pass perfectly with a sprinting sophomore.
Floated in over top of the defender. Kemp able to catch it in stride and then gain some extra yardage.
They're bringing the power unit back out right here with 47.7. It'll be a 1st and goal right from the 10-yard line. So the receiver to the left side is Warren Kane. Remember, they ran a play action off this last time. Power I, deep back is A.J. Hill. Single wide receiver. Snap to Glenn. He fumbled the snap on the ground. It is settled down by the Cardinals. It was the wingback able to dive in and collect that football. The clock is running, under 40 seconds to go right here, and they are going to step back into a power set and clock it. Wow, big mistake right there as it's fumbled. And again, it's the wingback able to step in and grab the ball. That was Tyler. Rojas on the coverage, but the big junior able to haul it in and able to put Davison back within 1.
Out of the power set, one-on-one coverage on the outside. Glennie sees it right away, knows he's got opportunity to throw a jump ball up to Kane, really put it in a good spot. The defender unable to get his head around there and try to locate the football. Kane able to just bring it in the front corner of the end zone.
So Ferguson looked to add the extra point as the Pat Davison home side is loving that one. Coakley to hold. Snap down. Kick is up and nearly blocked by Avon Cott, but it tumbles through the uprights. Good. We're knotted at 14. 31 seconds to go in the first half. Let's stay with you. Of course, thanks again to Centennial Securities. You can visit them at centennialscc.com, and Farmers Insurance. We'll have more updates in terms of kind of Farmers Insurance and that sponsorship going forward as we get into this season and what exactly that looks like and what it looks like for that brand going forward. But 30 seconds, 31.7 to be exact, Chandler, on the clock. Second half, 14 all. We'll welcome you in to the broadcast booth right here. But, I mean, a big drive there from Davison. A couple big moments that perpetuated that drive.
Yeah, we've seen that now. They've a couple times in the red zone gone to that look, tried running the football power with Harriman. This time now getting some one-on-one coverage, throwing the football around, but an impressive drive is crunch time there. The clock winding down, not a lot of time to operate and having to go 70 yards down the field, able to do so pretty efficiently.
All right, both teams back out there, ready to send it on away. Left to right across your radio dial or your computer. It will be Ryder Ferguson to send it away for Davison. Kopko is the deep man. He backs down to the 1-yard line on his left hash mark. 31 seconds. We're tied at 14. Here is the kick from Ferguson. It's a high angling one that goes 3 yards deep into the end zone. And Carson Kopko watches it go by. And here comes head coach Eric Stiegel's offense. And Chandler, 31 seconds. We have a lot of times seen Grandville maybe just kind of go to some trap runs up the gut right here, maybe looking to break something. You know, I wouldn't expect anything too exotic with a turnover already on the board for the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, I think with the way this game's going, looking like it's going to be a good one and a lot of grind it out in the first half. You don't want to have a mistake here and set yourselves back right before halftime. I'd expect them to keep it pretty simple, run the trap play. There's always a chance you break something, maybe have some momentum, but I think keeping it pretty simple here.
Out of the two tight end tee, turn, give, up the gut to Jaden Terry, made one man miss, lost the football, and Gibson Connolly falls on it at the 24-yard line. We'll tick under 21 seconds to go. I would not be surprised if Coach Stiegel just takes him back to the locker room after that hair-raising moment.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're trying to avoid right there. Terry able to break a tackle and trying to make something happen there, but gets the ball knocked out of his hands, and yeah, the offense is going to come off the field.
Yep, head set off for Coach Stiegel. His offense will follow him off the field. And we have reached halftime. After one half of this football game, we have had a real battle, a real thriller starting to form. And it's 14-all. We'll welcome you into the Farmers Insurance halftime show right here, CT. Man, I don't even know where to quite begin with this one. I mean, give me some of your initial thoughts. A sloppy first half of play. Both teams, I think, look at a couple things that they're really happy with, that I think, oh, we executed this well, we had this good drive, we had this good moment, but also turnovers, penalties, defensive mishaps, offensive mishaps, a lot of mistakes as well that kind of lead to this sloppy defensive battle.
Yeah, I think two really good teams going at it, but as you said, a little sloppy. Some sequences for both teams that looked pretty good. I think the Bulldogs offense pretty happy with their long touchdown drives and some of the things they were doing, able to force some turnovers, but also a turnover of their own in there, allowing a touchdown late at the end of the first half. I think Davison as well, you see some turnovers from on their end, giving up some points and long drives, but both teams kind of fighting through it right now in a really good game in the first half.
Continues to be an absolutely beautiful night here at Davison as well. 14-all, you can see it up there on your screen at the end of one, and we will be right back.
Hard work on three. 1, 2, 3. Hard work. 1, 2, 3.
This is the pizza the other guys wish they could make. Keep dreaming. Jets. Better, because it has to be.
At Sporting U, we know the quality and service our customers are looking for, and we make sure we deliver. Whether it's uniforms, embroidered or screen printed apparel, promotional products, or company web store, Sporting U has an experienced team, phenomenal suppliers, and in-house production to make it all happen seamlessly. You think it, we ink it. Our team is here to help your team stand out. Find out more at sportingu.com. That's sporting and the letter U.com.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. Michigan Hearing Expert.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
And welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. We are to our Farmers Insurance halftime show, 14-all after 1. Here's your scoring recap. We'll get some stats from CT here in just a minute, as well as sun going down, and we got quite the night of football. It has just been beautiful, start to finish. Like I said, we have been outside. I mean, if you are a fan of MGN for a long time, you have seen us in quite the situations. You saw us 2020, we pulled off some stuff, especially at Rockford, with sitting in the top row of the stands among all the Rockford fans for those insane football games. You know, we've been outside in some weather at Caledonia. There was the Unity Christian State semifinal where it was negative 12 degrees. So I am certainly going to take this. If there is a week to be outside, it is beautiful. And, of course, thanks to everyone at Davison for helping us out and getting us here and accommodating us for sure. All right, scoring recap from the first half. Easton Stadinsky, no scoring in the first quarter. So all 4 touchdowns coming in the second quarter. Now that's a little bit whatever, because the first one came 5 seconds into the second quarter. Easton Sadinsky from 4 yards out. And the Bulldogs added the extra point with Jake Karanen, which is something, if you are a Grandville fan, you were not expecting me to say if you were just tuning into this. So Karanen, the sophomore, good job adding on the extra point. And then at the 7:12 mark of the second quarter, Glennie found Edwards on a 3-yard rollout TD. Their XP good as well, tied at 7. And then Reed Graverson punched in with a minute and a half to go, 1:28 exactly in the first half from 2 yards out. Extra point good from Karen, 14-7. And then Glennie found Kane with 31 seconds to go in the second quarter from 13 yards out. And they added extra point as well with Ferguson, and that knocked us up at the half at 14. Chandler, take us through some of the scoring recap and some of the standouts in terms of that regard from this first half.
All right, yeah, we'll start with the Cardinals. Most of their damage coming through the air. Glennie had 87 passing yards, 20 of those to Naves, 25 to Banks Williams, 3 to Edwards, 28 yards for Kemp, and 13 for Kane on the touchdown. Not a ton on the ground. Hill leading the way with 25 yards on 2 carries. Harriman had a couple carries for 2 yards, and Glennie chipping in 12 as well for the Bulldogs. Cash Ruff had 1 completion for 47 yards. That was to Connolly. On the ground, Terry, 47 yards. Sadinsky with 50 yards. Kopko with 35, and Graverson with that 2-yard touchdown.
Yeah, let's talk about Easton Sadinsky, because I think, if we're keeping our eye out for all of our awards in terms of the way that this game goes, looking at the Farmers Insurance Play of the Game, the Centennial Player of the Game, as well as the Carr Center Hit of the Game, I think when you look at Sadinsky, yeah, he has the touchdown, but he's got some big runs, a big part of converting first downs. We said it. You could expect Jaden Terry to get focused on in this ballgame, and Easton Sadinsky has looked very, very good. He's fit in a little bit of that Tyson Mann role from a year ago of just getting the yardage needed when needed.
Yeah, he's been huge. I think he's had 10 carries for the Bulldogs, averaging 5 yards a pop, and he's had a couple double-digit yardage runs, and that's something the Bulldogs haven't had a ton in the first half. He's been able to break a couple longer ones, also able to punch it in, get some tougher yardage as well. So doing a little bit of everything, doing some good work out of the Bulldogs' backfield.
Yeah, and right now we speak of that hit of the game. I think Carter Harriman may be the leader in the clubhouse, that big hit he had on Jaden Terry back in the first half. And Carr Center presents our hit of the game this year on game night on Michigan Sports Radio, and all Michigan Sports Radio broadcasts. Carr Center presents that hit of the game. All right, about 8 minutes to go until we get the second half underway. Davison Band on field right now. 14-all at the break. We'll be right back here on our Farmers Insurance Halftime Show.
Can you identify your number one personal trait, the thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FIN.
Hey everyone, Nate Dreyer from MGN, and MGN merch now available for purchase, and we have got a ton of options. Here's where you find the new MGN shop. Go to MichiganGameNight.com. Many of you have probably been there before. Click on the shop merch tab. Many of you have probably been to the MGN page on Michigan Sports Radio. Click on the Buy MGN merch tab. It'll take you here. We've partnered with Teespring, neat company that allows for us to have a lot of different shirt designs. They'll print them, they'll make them, they'll ship them out to you. So a neat way that allows us to have a lot of offerings. We've got a ton of really cool t-shirts, hats, snapback, dad hats, beanie hats, water bottles, more t-shirts, more sweatshirts, just a ton of options. Really, just a ton of options that you're going to be able to look through and find exactly what you may want. We've done what we can, like I said, with Teespring to try to stack this thing. We'll have plenty more options that we'll put up on social media, but make sure you check it out.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINR.
MGN is the driver. I am Chandler 2.
Oh, wow.
We're going to leave this in.
All right.
This is staying in the show. He is Chandler Timmer. I am Nate Dreyer. This is what happens when you work together for 6 years. The names are one.
We're just one, yeah.
Chandler Timmer, Nate Dreyer. Chandler Timmer, Nate Dreyer. Michigan game night, tailgate report. We clearly have to stop talking. I do at least. I will see you all. I see you too. Friday night, Grandville, Wyoming. I think 6:30. We're on the air for that. Goodbye. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. And he has returned. He's still on the beach. We've been bugging him about it all week long, but Chandler Timmer joins me here on the Bates Agency pregame show. CT, you seem to be doing better than the rest of us.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty nice down here. I kind of like covering basketball this way.
I'm sure you do.
Looking to this moving forward.
I can't blame you one bit. All right.
Rather than just always relying on one player.
Yeah, Scott Bates Agency pregame show continues here on game night on Michigan Sports Radio. CT, I think the next thing that you have to mention most notably in this contest is break me every time still. Every single time that happens, it gets me. The winners still go to the Heartland student section last year at the Breslin Center. Those guys win every time. Season. And we'll wrap up our broadcast with the Heinz orthodontic smile of the game. Grown at that point guard position. Tough backcourt in general. Getting to some of those other pieces that we have out there. After 3 years, it finally almost came down on me. Good catch. I don't know what kid caught that, but that was a good catch. But regardless, a tough backcourt. Your flight's at 5 or your...
Yeah, the flight out of Panama City is like at 5, and we don't get home till like midnight, so.
That sucks. So you're actually... That was a lie. You're not going to be tuning in.
Yeah, no, if I'm at the airport at that time, I will be, but I'm likely missing most of it.
Okay. All right, thanks again for tuning in. Unlike Chandler, we've made the slight wardrobe change. It's getting a little bit colder out here at Davison tonight. It feels like football. That's the first thing. Obviously, there's football this weekend. It's Labor Day. And I guess there was football last weekend. I didn't get a chance to watch literally a second of it with the other stuff that I had going on. But, yeah, it feels like football. And we have a heck of a physical football game. If you're a fan of Midwestern, Michigan-type pound football, we are seeing exactly that between the power T and, I mean, I guess the thing is it's a physical game, but like Davison's not running a physical offense. They're trying to spread it, but it just has become a physical defensive game, and I think it's actually been a more defensive game than the scoreboard might even indicate.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think a lot of back and forth. You see some of that sloppiness, some of it due to the fact of how physical this game's being played up front. Seen some false starts, seen some holding calls, some personal fouls in there as well. A very physical game going back and forth offensively and defensively, pushing, shoving back around, and going stride for stride.
Yeah, Davison marching band finding their way off the field, so we're getting a little bit closer to the warm-up at least starting to begin as the players will come back out. We'll take a break then, but until then, we'll keep breaking things down a little bit more. I mean, you look at the battle on the front lines, things have been pretty, I mean, it's just been so close. I mean, so far we haven't seen an edge. The one thing to look for, I think, is going to be mistakes and penalties and turnovers. I think both teams with one turnover, both teams with some mistakes. I think both coaching staffs know in a game won on the margins physically like this, unless there's some big coaching change, which I don't necessarily know if there's going to be one to be made. I think it's just making less mistakes wins you this football game right now.
Yeah, I think both teams are looking to clean that up in that regard. Both teams have had their mistakes, their moments where they say, if you don't commit that penalty there or whatever, this game maybe looks a little bit different. The turnovers as well, some big momentum changes, some fumbles for the Bulldogs, some interceptions for the Cardinals can really change the momentum of the game, and trying to limit that in the second half.
Interesting right now, our premier matchup of this game, Jaden Terry versus A.J. Hill, both have been very, very quiet so far.
Yeah, Jaden Terry had multiple double-digit carries, but really limited, bottled up most of the time, unable to really break anything free. It's been a lot of tough grinding runs for him. Still able to get right around 50 yards, but nothing down the field. For the Cardinals, A.J. Hill only 2 carries, 25 yards, broken one right before the end of the first half there for 20 plus. I think part of their game plan in the second half probably going to be to get him some more touches.
All right, one more quick break here on the Farmers Insurance halftime show. When we come back, we got some football. 14-all, Grandville, Davison knotted up here at Davison. A big D1 battle, maybe the best battle in the state of Michigan in Division I, or maybe just in general here in the MHSAA. We will be right back.
Then let's take a look. As I mentioned over the phone, wear and tear.
Oh man, they're never gonna buy this thing. Wear and tear? Well, there's the coffee stain on the seat. It needs new brakes. All 4 wheels squeak. The passenger door doesn't even have a handle. Not to mention that one time I went to my uncle's farm and backed up into a truck full of shit.
Should about cover it. You're all set.
Oh.
Don't overthink it. Seller to Weller.
There's something for everyone on Pizza Ranch's legendary buffet. Our pizza buffet features hot, cheesy goodness, slice after slice after slice. Try our signature pizzas or request your favorite combination with our Buffet Your Way option, and you'll get the first piece. With endless possibilities, you're sure to find your ranch favorites. Everyone will agree that cactus bread is the perfect dessert to end your meal. For legendary food that everyone loves, there's so much to love at Pizza Ranch.
The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. A class is elected each year and then honored at an induction ceremony in the fall. They also prevent annual events in support of West Michigan athletics, and they raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow them on Facebook or check out the pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshof.com.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer here from the great outdoors here at Davison High School. And card at 14 right now between Grandville and Davison as we get ready for this second half. Just want to kind of go over what are the keys we're looking at. What we talked about the turnovers, but what are the things we're looking at? What do you have to do well for either team to win this football game?
Yeah, I think for the Bulldogs, offensively, finding that right opportunity for the play-action pass down the field, they're going to have to hit at least one more play down the field, I think, in order to win this game. Like what we saw on the field, they've been able to recover on a couple of them, but they've had some opportunities Davison has down the field that they've missed on. Back for the secondary for the Bulldogs needs to stay honest there, can't get beat over the top, and can't get caught with your eyes in the backfield, too. A lot of RPOs and moving the pocket from the Cardinals.
To optimize your hearing and performance so you don't miss a play. 12 fresh minutes up on the board. Lights illuminating this brand new turf surface here at Cardinal Stadium. Davison will get ready to receive this football in their all home gold uniforms. Numbers in maroon, helmets in gold with a cardinal wing on either side. Grandville traveling white uniforms, numbers and trimming in maroon. Helmets in maroon with a block white Grandville G. Jake Karen, the sophomore, will get ready to send this one away for the Bulldogs from right to left across your radio dial. So knotted at 14, it will be Davison with the first chance to try to score in this one. Karen wears 15 in white, gets ready to send it away. A.J. Hill is the deep man. He stands on the right side at his own 5. A whistle cut the air I think they're going to call a fair catch. I don't know if he did fair catch that ball, though, but that looks like that's going to be the call. It'll still be decent field position on the pooch kick as Grandville continues to keep this ball away from A.J. Hill.
Yeah, I believe it was the line up, the man up from where the ball ended up being caught that was actually waving his hand, signaling. So I think some discussion here is the returner there didn't necessarily signal himself for the fair catch.
I think it was Armstead potentially that brought it in, and the mark is going to be placed at the Cardinal 26-yard line. So still decent field position here for Sawyer Glennie and company. As we get ready to go to work, they will go tight for wide receiver Glennie. Bulldogs bring a 4 down front. Naraki will move out as a nickel corner right here against the 4 wide receiver set. Bulldogs shift the defensive front. Snap high to Glennie. Pitch right side to Hill. Carrying the ball in his hand. It's a running back pass. Throws it down the field. Caught at the 50 by Kemp. Sprinting in the open field. Touchdown, Davison. A trick play from the Cardinals to open up the half. Catches everyone on their toes. It's A.J. Hill lobbing it for Micah Kemp. Touchdown.
Hill looks like it's going to be a stretch run, and you can tell right away he kind of tucked that football in one hand. At first looked like he was just going to keep it. Kemp unable to find some separation down the field, but eventually able to break free, wide open, got past the safety. Hill able to lob it up and over the top, and then Kemp with some exceptional speed.
Ferguson, extra point, almost blocked again by Avon Kopp, but it will find its way through the uprights good. 21-14, Davison, a trick play, 74 yards, touchdown, Cardinals. We'll be right back.
This is a beautiful time of year, but for many, it is also the beginning of allergy season, which means lots of sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, runny nose, constant drainage, or ear pressure. These are all allergy symptoms we regularly treat. Don't let your allergy stop you from enjoying what you love to do outdoors. We have several ear, nose, throat, and allergy specialists ready to see you. Find us online at MichiganENTallergy.com. We look forward to helping you enjoy the outdoors again.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
All right, a bit of a shock to open up the second half of play as Davison takes a 21-14 lead on a 74-yard running back pass. Again, I kind of called it. He was Shady McCoying it with that ball in his right hand. Thought, is he going to just carry it that way, or what's he thinking? He throws it downfield with a wide open Micah Kemp, and the sophomore able to score from 74 out, left to right. Davison is sent it away here with a rider. Ferguson, we're back underway. Driving kick up the right hash mark, taken by Kopko at the 5-yard line. Kopko runs it up the left side and gets blown up at the 16-yard line. Trio of tacklers range and shut him down, and Grandville starts inside their own 20-yard line, now trailing 21-14 for the first time today. Grandville trails in the football game with 11:43 in the third.
This turns into a big drive right away for the Bulldogs. Now you find yourselves down a touchdown right out of halftime after the big play. Cardinals feeling pretty good. Chance now backed you up a little bit, starting at the 15-yard line. Really big chance here for the Bulldogs to try to extend another long drive, try to even the game back up.
Bulldogs will break it out here from their own 15-yard line. 2 tight end T, 4 down front. Give to Jaden Terry, broke a tackle, racing into the open field at the 30, 40-yard line, right side at the 50, 40-yard line, 35, 30, right side, outside the numbers 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Tank! Grandville with an answer, 2 plays, 2 touchdowns in the second half. Jaden to the house, 85 yards.
Guess that's just the second half it's going to be here tonight. Long plays up and down the field. Jaden Terry hadn't had a long run in the first half, been bottled up, and then right away you could see broke through the line on the right side, had to throw the stiff arm to the last defender, the safety back there, able to break free, and then that speed again. See Kemp going one way down the field with a ton of speed, outrunning the defense. Terry going back the other way, breaking free.
What is happening? Karen in to add the extra point. 30 seconds gone, another touchdown, and Jaden Terry with maybe the play of his career. High snap, settle down, right leg through the ball, and a driving kick right down the middle. Good, we're knotted at 21. 30 seconds gone in the second half. We will be right back.
Royal is fun. Royal is teamwork. Royal is growth. Royal is innovative. Royal is we are Royal.
This is the pizza the other guys wish they could make. Keep dreaming. Jets, better, because it has to be.
Kroll Furnace is upgrading your comfort with the Daikin Fit system, featuring adaptive heating and cooling. Call us today to learn more about this innovative system. Kroll Furnace, keeping you comfortable for 4 generations.
The comment just made off air was, man, that kid is special in regards to Jaden Terry, who goes 85 yards to the house. Jake Kiernan Pooch kicks it away and is brought in by one of the up men. That's taken by Armstead at the 25, and he'll rumble ahead around the 38-yard line where he gets shut down. So good starting position. It will be the 38-yard line here for Davison. Now let's see if we can get a little bit of sanity restored in this football game. 11:26 to go in the third quarter, and a pair of very long touchdowns already on the board. But what a run by Jaden Terry. That wasn't a trap play, big hole. He made that happen as he bounced it outside.
Yeah, had to shimmy through the line initially, then break a tackle at the second level. Very impressive run. It was somewhat modest by his standards night at halftime. Immediately now 130-plus yards and a touchdown, looking to really break out here in the second half.
Glenny from the shotgun, 4 wide receiver set, trips right. Tailback is Hill. Here's the snap. Glenny at his chest, a whistle down. That's going to be a false start against Banks Williams, who got an early start on the far side, moving left to right here.
Yeah, it's been the receivers for the Cardinals tonight that have been...
And it's been the speedy Banks Williams with a couple of problems as well. He had an illegal motion as well earlier back in that first half. So knotted at 21 with 11:24 to go here. A 1st and 15 now, back to their own 33-yard line for Davison. Again, it's ball on the left hash mark. They go trips right, single man left. That's Banks Williams. Snap to the lanky senior Glenny. Rolling back to pass. Clutches. Fires deep over the middle. Got Naves. Incomplete, though, at the 25-yard line. Just a little overthrown and out of reach of Naves. He had beaten the Bulldogs secondary and was nearly about to go 3 plays, 3 touchdowns.
That's the second or third time, not including the one that did go for a touchdown, that Glenny's had a receiver down the field come open. Had to throw that one open a little bit more than able to see it down the field a little too late, but able to split between Sanchez and Cotton. Naves was open, streaking down the middle of the field, just out of his reach.
They've got a little bit more power right here to a 3 wide receiver set as Jalen Edwards will come in as the H-back off the left side of the line. Bulldogs bring a 4 down front. 2nd and 15 from the 33. Right foot offset in front of the left. Man in motion, Coakley across the line. Snap high, settled down by Glenny. Throws it sidearm. Ball came bouncing free. Moody had it, thought he had it intercepted. It instead is going to be incomplete and 3rd and 15.
Yeah, trying to throw a screen to the H-back Edwards, who's coming across the formation. They're setting it up to dump it off to him and try to get the line out in front of him. Looked like just knocked down off his hands or off the body there.
All right, back to the 4 wide receiver set. 3rd and 15, 11:13 to go in the third, knotted at 21. Again, ball left hash mark. They go trips right here for Sawyer Glenny. The senior from the gun. Hill to his right hip. 3 down front for the Bulldogs. Nice snap to the chest. Drop to pass. Fires over in the middle. Caught by Coakley at the 49. Twisted down. 1st down. Tackle made by Newville. Able to find the soft spot of the defense. And Coakley hauls it in. And they're into Grandville territory in the long 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, Coakley able to find an opening in the zone in the middle of the defense. Running a seam down the hash. Throw in between defenders. Between the linebacker trying to cover and the safety coming up.
Quickly working 4 wide receiver set from the Grandville 48-yard line. Snap high over the head of Glenny, able to settle it down. He'll now tuck it down and run at the 50. Glenny able to bounce it to the 46-yard line, get shoestringed and twisted down by Miguel Rojas after a gain of 1.5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and long.
Bulldogs had a play like that last week, a broken play on a snap. Quarterback able to turn it into a long run. Much better job responding here, able to stay and keep the contain on the outside, force Glennie back, able to pick up a yard, but not letting that turn into a bigger play.
2nd and 9 now from the Grandville 47, 10-18 to go and less. Clock ticking in the third quarter. We're knotted at 21 here from Davison. The Cardinals driving left to right across the radio dial in their home gold uniforms. Long look to the sideline here from senior quarterback Sawyer Glennie, 6'2", 195 pounds. He has 2 passing touchdowns in this game. His running back, A.J. Hill, to his left hip, has a passing touchdown as well. Here is a snap to Glennie. Give to Hill, up the middle, engulfed, slung down by Emery Moody. 2-yard loss in the backfield. Moody busting through, and the Bulldog, terrific junior edge rusher, makes it 3rd down and very long.
Haven't seen the Cardinals feature Hill too much. Maybe part of the reason right there, the respecting the ability of the Bulldogs defensive line. Moody able to break free on was going to try to be a stretch run, getting in the backfield, turning that into a loss and setting it into a 3rd and long.
4 wide receivers set, 3rd and 11 from the 50-yard line. Glennie trips left. Here's the snap of the helmet, jumps a little to settle it down, runs back left across his body, throws, caught wide open Coakley at the 35-yard line and busted out of bounds by Sanchez to the 28. Again, Coakley ranging into the soft spot of the defense to move the chains on 3rd and very long.
And nobody around, no defender. Again, Coakley able to find a soft spot.
We will tick under 9 minutes to go by the time this gets snapped in the third quarter. 2 wide receivers to either side, ball left hash mark. From the Grandville 25 is the mark. Clap from Glennie. Another clap, and here's the snap of the chest. Throws left side, incomplete. It was out of the reach of Micah Kemp. The sophomore turned the corner. The ball was immediately kind of at his other shoulder than he was expecting that ball on the turn. 2nd and 10 at the 25.
Kemp running a short out route there, just a quick route to try to get him the football and let him do something with his feet after if he were to make the catch, but off the hands there, throw a little bit out wide.
2nd and 10, 25-yard line into Grandville territory. Snap to Glennie. Delayed give to Hill. Left side, twisting away from Braylon Haney. Broken tackle at the 20. Angles right at the 15. Up the middle of the field. 5. Touchdown, Davison. What a run by A.J. Hill from 25 yards out. And the terrific junior running back has a rushing touchdown to go along with his earlier passing TD. 27-21 Cardinals.
Jaden Terry with a highlight reel touchdown a minute ago. That one right along with it. Not as long in terms of yardage, but making multiple men miss. Broke tackles on his own at the 2nd level. Some juke moves, some stops and goes. Very impressive run to add a touchdown on the board for the Cardinals.
Offense becoming the measure of the day in the second half. Ferguson again able to add the extra point. Again, Avon Cott nearly blocked that. He has been in on all 4 of them. It is 28-21. Davison back on top with 8:41 in the 3rd.
Can you identify your number 1 personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
All right, welcome back here to Davison. Remember, this week's Family Fair tailgate special is lean 80% ground beef for only $2.47 a pound. Visit shopfamilyfair.com for all of the specials. So Davison goes back on top as A.J. Hill rumbles into the end zone from 25 yards out, left to right across the radio dial. The sophomore Ryder Ferguson gets ready to send this one away. The deep man for the Bulldogs is Carson Kopko. Ferguson across the ball, right leg through the ball, a low driving kick taken on a leap at the 6-yard line by Miguel Rojas. Rojas up the middle of the field, busting past the tackle 25 to the 30, 35-yard line, 39. He gets trio tackled and sent on down. What a job, though, by Rojas. Leapt to grab that low line drive. He gets great field position for the Bulldogs up past the 30-yard line.
Yeah, really nice return. Had to go up and snatch that one. It's probably going to go to the chest of Kopko, but making the decision there to try to grab it out of the air, turning that into a really nice return. Bulldogs some better field position.
All right, Jaden Terry did it all in one play, 85 yards last time. They will start at the 39-yard line right here. 1st and 10, they trail again, 28-21 with 8.5 to go in the third quarter. Two tight end T. Connolly, the left tight end. Medeiros, the right tight end. Cash Ruff under center. Turn from Ruff. Give up the gut on the delay to Jaden Terry. He gets busted up at the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Carter Harriman after a gain of 1. Bulldogs back. Sadinsky, Kopko, and Terry again to start the second half right here. And again, it's Harriman just soaking everything up in the middle of this defense when you run at the middle.
Yeah, the defensive line doing a good job holding their ground, but then when you've got a linebacker like Harriman that can come up and fill those gaps, can read the eyes of the running back and see where the handoff's going, which is not easy against the Bulldogs and all the fakes they run. Got to have vision on the defensive side of the ball as well, and Harriman able to do so in shutting down the run game.
Under 8 minutes to go, clock running down in the third quarter. 28-21 Davison. Grandville from their own 40-yard line on a 2nd and 9. 4 down front against the T here defensively. Give to Jaden Terry, broke one tackle, going the wrong way back to the 35-yard line and gets shoestringed down there by Diazan Grados. Terry tries to make too much happen. He'll lose a couple yards. Forward progress gets him back to the 37-yard line and a 3rd and 12 here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, one too many guys to outrun for Terry. Trying to extend that play, running straight east and west towards the sideline. Outran the first shoestring tackle, but not able to do so on the second.
So Grandville 3rd and 12 from their own 37 down a touchdown here in the third quarter. Snap to Ruff, straight drop to pass. Ruff with time, fires over the middle, caught 50-yard line. First down, Sadinsky ranging in the open field, 38-yard line, tackled from behind. First down, Grandville. What a conversion from the Dogs on 3rd and long. They'll move it inside the 40.
Yeah, what was a sloppy first half and penalties and 3rd and 4th down chances early on in the game has now turned into both teams going up and down the field. Doesn't matter the down or situation. First down, backed up, or 3rd down and long. We've seen some big plays, big completions down the field.
How about the game for Sadinsky, though? How great he has been in all facets here. From the 37-yard line in plus territory, two tight end T for the Bulldogs. 6:48 to go in the third. They're down a touchdown, 28-21. Turn. Delayed give on to Kopko, running straight left along the line of scrimmage. He'll get twisted down by Robbie Martin. It'll be 2nd down and 10, right back where they started. Again, they try to run it, kind of trap up the middle. Nothing there on the bounce.
Yeah, Kopko chased down. A penalty flag on the far side of the field as well. We'll see what this is going to be.
It is on the very far side of the field. Sideline warning against the Bulldogs. So that makes sense. 4. So Bulldogs get a sideline warning right here, and it'll stay 2nd down and 10 from the 37-yard line into Davison territory. The Cardinals leading the Bulldogs 28-21 with 6:09 to go here in the third on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Nate Dreyer with Chandler Timmer here tonight. Thanks to Centennial Securities, Farmers Insurance for being our presenting sponsors, longtime presenting sponsors with Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio and MichiganGameNight.com. Officials having more of a meeting right here as well. I don't quite know what that elongated discussion would be about. Now we'll break. In from the sideline, here comes Cash Ruff. Traveling white uniforms for the Bulldogs. They go right to left across your radio dial. The ball marked on the near hashes, and the Bulldogs break. Wait, we have a late penalty marker. Now a sideline warning. I think we're resetting the clock, possibly. I think the clock has to go back up to 6:30 at the time of that penalty being called. So now both teams will go back to their huddles, and we'll take a little bit more time to get this set. So 6.5 to go, third quarter. 28-21. The Davison lead. And we are back in play right now. A.J. DeHaan rolls out to his center position. Under center goes Cash Ruff. 4 down front here for Davison. 3 linebackers, couple corners cheating in behind. Give to Jaden Terry up the middle, ran into the back of his line and the back of Carson Kopko at the 35. He'll fall to the 34 for a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd down and long, medium, somewhere in between long and medium here for the Bulldogs. 6:10 and less.
Yeah, 3rd and 8. Really, if Coach Stiegel wants to, can run the football here again. Hope you get 3-4 yards and give yourselves a 4th down that you can convert on once again. Don't necessarily have to go to the play action, even though they've hit on it twice.
Mark is the 35-yard line. It is a 3rd and 8, as Chandler said. We tick under 5:50 to go in the third quarter. 28-21. Grandville would love to take some time off the clock and score right here as they roll out to the line of scrimmage. 2 tight end T. Defense crowding in here with 2 high safeties still. Snap to Ruff. give up the gut, trap play, Kopko, nowhere to go, engulfed at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 8 from the 35. Middle of that defense, Jaden Lockhart and company read it perfectly and shut it down.
Yeah, when you make that play call on 3rd and long, really hoping to pick up at least a couple yards and make this a much more manageable 4th down. Instead, no gain, now forced to go for it in a spot really in no man's land. You don't want to punt the football here, but also a tough distance to pick up.
Mark almost seeming to be a loss of about half a yard is where it's actually going to put. So 4th and 8 for the Bulldogs from the Davison 35-yard line. They trail by a touchdown, under 5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Pass Ruff, the senior, under center. Ruff motions Jaden Terry to the left wing. Snap to Ruff, rolls right to pass, back across his body, throws, caught. No, not caught. Sadinsky bobbles it at the 31-yard line, a little overthrown. Incomplete, would have been short of the first anyway, and Davison takes over.
Trying to use Jaden Terry as a decoy to the left side, run him on a route deep down the field, and then Sadinsky running also to the left side in a wheel route out of the backfield. The throw a little bit over his head, had to make the adjustment. In doing so, I think also trying to turn himself upfield, knowing he was going to have to go right away. Even if he makes that catch, there's a couple of Cardinal defenders there that would have been very close, but incomplete pass regardless, and turnover on downs.
And now certainly the biggest defensive possession that Grandville has had in this young season for certain. Cardinals will open up from their own 35-yard line, 3 wide receiver set. They use Jalen Edwards as the H-back. He'll go off the left side of the line. Snap to Glennie, delayed give is fake, thrown right side, caught Naves, 45-yard line, sidesteps the defender 50, races in the open field 40, split a pair of defenders over the 35, and gets tackled from behind to the 30. Big gain on the crossing pattern, and Davison in business now, already up a score.
Davison really finding some explosive passing plays down the field, whether that's deep throws down the field in the air or whether short route there, slant, but just the defender playing way off, able to quickly get that one in.
Davison's offense exploded in the second half last week against De La Salle. That's how they made that big comeback in that game, and they are looking to do it again here in the second half of this one. From the gun, from the Grandville 31-yard line, 1st and 10 with a 1-touchdown lead here for Glennie and company. High snap to the senior, fake handoff, rolls right to pass, off the back foot, throws, caught at the 30-yard line by Jalen Edwards, made a man miss, weaving over the 10, over the 5, diving into the end zone. Touchdown, Davison. Jalen Edwards weaves and breaks tackles from 31 out, and the Cardinals up by 2 scores.
It's been a mix of explosive plays from the Cardinals and some missed tackles from the Bulldogs secondary as well. That time, opportunity to come up and make the play. Edwards caught that one right around the line of scrimmage, just able to run through an arm tackle. Very strong runner in Edwards, able to make a miss, but some missed tackles in the 2nd and 3rd levels of the Bulldogs defense, allowing some extra yardage, and they're a touchdown.
Ferguson to add the extra point. Right foot through the ball, and he got that one. That's a high kick right down the hatch. 35-21, Davison's offense exploding in this second half and showing exactly what they are as a football team right now. We will be right back.
Royal is fun. Royal is teamwork. Royal is growth. Royal is innovative. Royal is we are Royal.
This is the pizza the other guys wish they could make. Keep dreaming. Jets. Better, because it has to be.
Kroll Furnace is upgrading your comfort with the Deck and Fit system, featuring adaptive heating and cooling. Call us today to learn more about this innovative system. Kroll Furnace, keeping you comfortable for 4 generations.
Ryder Ferguson, ball on the tee. We'll get ready to send this one on away for the Cardinals with 4:09 to go in this third quarter. They have a fresh 14-point lead. Ferguson, the sophomore, angling to kick, taken inside the 10-yard line by Carson Kopko, twisting outside the numbers to the 18, sidesteps the defender back to the right and gets tackled hard from behind to the 21. The ball came out after he had already hit the ground as well. Really good tackle from behind made by Brad Diego, and here comes the Bulldog offense, Chandler. 4:02 to go. Not panic time yet, only down 2 scores, but they needed an efficient scoring drive right here.
Yeah, there was some pressure on the last drive. Definitely turned up now, down 2 scores. Able to drive into opposing territory, get just outside the red zone. And the last drive, eventually turning it over on downs. Now desperately here, needing a long drive or a long drive down the field. And trying to add some points on and get your defense some breathers on the sideline.
They start with a tight T and under center. Goes rough. Give to Jaden Terry. Stretch play to the right side at the 20. Cuts it up outside the numbers of the 25 and dives over the 30 to the 31 for the first down out of bounds. And Jaden fell into his own sideline. He's a little slow to get up. He'll take at least a play off right here as he'll gather himself, but a close call right there for Jaden Terry as he got tripped. It may have been even with KJ Landis on the sideline.
Yeah, he was trying to get right along the boundary there, turning it upfield. Got awkwardly kind of hit and trying to throw his hips to the side to avoid the hit. Might have landed just a little awkwardly, hopefully nothing too serious.
He's walking it off right now, but he will leave the field for this play. Graverson will come in his place. 3:53 to go. Give to Kopko on the trap, broke a tackle, bounces outside the number.
Extend that play, get along the sideline, another successful first down run.
Grandville, 2nd and 4 from the 38-yard line. Snap to Ruff, fake handoff to Terry, then gave it off to Sadinsky, who got popped. The ball came free, and I think Davison fell on it at the 35-yard line. The officials will run in. Nope, Grandville will keep the football. It was marginal. I don't know who laid the hit. It might have been Harriman in the middle of things. But a big pop right there on the Bulldog ball carrier. Bounces that one free, now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, definitely a candidate for hit of the game there. The only unfortunate thing, there's a big pile. Hard to tell exactly who delivered it. Sadinsky hit very hard in the middle as he was trying to push forward in the pile. Bulldogs fortunate to fall back on the football.
That's the Card Center hit of the game. Certainly a big one right there that pops the ball free. Grandville have a 3rd and 6 from their own 36-yard line. We tick under 3 minutes to go in the third. 2-score lead for Davison. Snap to Ruff. Give to Jaden Terry right into the back of his defenders. He's wrestled down by a trio of Cardinals. Coming off the edge, Tyler Dosh helped level him. It'll be 4th down and medium for the Dogs. Maybe a yard there for Jaden back to the 37. And now a Bulldog is down. It is Jaden Terry. So Terry will roll onto his back, holding the left leg, and the training staff was pretty quickly out there. That was a bit of a rough pile. He got brought down on the bottom. Obviously, you hope it's a cramp or something on what is still a relatively warm night, but an awkward pile that Jaden Terry went into, and right now all of Grandville and frankly all the state of Michigan should be holding their collective breaths. Jaden back to his feet. With some help, and he is only going to put pressure on the right, and he's going to hop off. So no pressure on the left leg from Jaden Terry as he's going to hop off the field here with help from either side from trainers.
Yeah, hard to know for sure. I believe unrelated to the injury that he had just a minute ago. It looked like he was fine coming back into that play, and then late as he was pushing forward for some extra yardage, got rolled up on. Looks like something with the leg, but hard to tell exactly. He's going to try to gather himself on the sideline, but the Bulldogs now going to make the decision to punt the ball away.
Yeah, they will punt it right here, and a lot of air have been taken out of this building after that play. So it'll be caught to punt, low one, settles it down. It's half a step forward, right leg through the ball, and he'll send this one down towards Banks Williams over his head and takes a good Grandville bounce inside the 20 to the 19-yard line where Graverson touches it up, and now the Cardinals offense will come out on the field, but I don't have to tell everyone how important it is for Grandville's not just this game that they trail by 2 scores in, but their season that Jaden Terry is hopefully dealing with a little bit of a quick minor stinger. So here comes Sawyer Glennie and company for Davison. This offense, Chandler. If we're starting out their offensive explosion in the second half today, I think Coach Weingart's team is certainly moving their way towards the top of that list.
Yeah, definitely. The adjustments at halftime now becoming a trend. Last week we're down 14-0 at halftime. Came out with a ton of explosive plays, got themselves back in that game and won it at the end. Here again, tie game at halftime. Now lighting it up in the second half.
Snap to Glennie.
5-yard out there, threw the football near the edge of the field, and instead Naves running up the field trying to potentially throw a block. He might have thought it was a run play there.
It was just a quick stinger for that young man. 2nd and 10. Davison, 3 wide receivers set from their own 19, leading 35-21. High snap, settled down by Glennie. Throws right side, caught by Banks Williams, turning the wrong way at the 23-yard line. Made a man miss, shimmies in the open field at the 30, walks a tightrope to the 35 and angles out of bounds. Putty Banks Williams making something happen there in the open field. He is so shifty and so dangerous. First down, Davison.
I have to give credit to the playmakers and the receivers for the Cardinals on making so many guys miss. Making the corner there, able to quick stop on a dime and go and accelerate once again.
2:06 to go. Clock stopped here in the third quarter. 35-21. Ball on the right hash mark from their own 36. They'll go single wide receiver, Naves to the right side. Wing back off the right side of the line. A long call in here from Coach Weingart's and the Davison sideline. Now Glennie steps into the shotgun, claps once on a fake snap, now a clap again, high snap, fake handoff, RPO, thrown left side, caught 40-yard line by Coakley. He'll turn it up into a tackling pile to the 44-yard line. Sophomore Naraki making the stop.
It's been on this drive and end of last drive, a bunch of quick short throws, forced the Grandville defense to come up and tackle you in space. Right now it's been effective, able to continually pick up some good yardage through the air.
1:41 and less to go in the third quarter. 35-21 Davison. They'll change out and change around the unit right here. They'll isolate Coakley now to the left side out of a 3 wide receiver set. The Bulldogs changing around their coverage as well to match from the shotgun. The wingback moves from the right to the left side of the line. Bulldogs change the defensive front. Snap here to Glennie. Delayed give is faked. Dropping to pass. Glennie clutches. Fires deep. Over the middle. Overthrown. Looking for the sophomore Kemp at the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2. 1:15 in the third.
2nd and 2 there. Good opportunity. Anytime you've got a good gain like that on first down, you got a 2nd and short. Kind of figuring you're going to convert that first down. You got that in your back pocket, so taking a shot down the field. You've been throwing a lot of short routes, hoping the Bulldogs defense and secondary comes up, tries to jump one, and instead you run a deep route down the field, but just overthrown to the middle.
To go 4 wide receiver set right here is, I think they maybe have to replace where the football is. Some miscommunication with the official. Maybe Davison getting set to her, but they go 4 wide receiver set on 3rd down and 2 here. Tailback heel to the right hip of Glennie. Glennie, fake clap there, trying to draw the Bulldogs offside. Now he'll look back to the sideline. 1:15 to go here. Clock is stopped on this 3rd and 2 coming up. Long look back to the sideline again. 35-21 Davison. Snap to Glennie. Give to Hill, up the middle, evades Moody. He's got the first down, angling left at the 50. Sidestep 45, down to the 40, and he gets to the 39-yard line. Emery Moody had him in the backfield, but Hill able to slip away and get the first down in what nearly would have been a 4th down coming up.
Yeah, Moody was there, got past his blocker on the left side, but couldn't get his arms around Hill. Hill very elusive.
Official timeout, Stephen Jackson slow back to his feet for the Bulldogs. He will get back to his feet with some help from defensive coordinator KJ Landis and find his way off the field. That one looking more like a cramp as he'll get stretched out as we continue on this cooling, I should say, but still humid night here in Davison. 1:07 to go in the third quarter. Early Labor Day weekend, maybe beginning for many of you. And we started with some football here from Davison and a really good second half performance from the Cardinals. Now lead at 35-21. They have been able to jump all over the Bulldogs with a trio of touchdowns in this third quarter of play. We take under a minute to go in the third quarter. They will work, the Cardinals will, from the Grandville 40-yard line. From the shotgun, 3 wide receiver set here for Sawyer Glennie, who has had a very, very solid day. Beyond solid, I would even say. Snap here to Glennie. Drop the pass, clutches, fires deep, right side, looking for Naves at the 5, caught, and he drops it. Incomplete. It was in his hands. He brought it against his body and then dropped it as a late hit came from Jackson Sanchez in coverage, and Naves just pounding both fists on the turf in the end zone. He had the TD right there, just can't hang on.
Yeah, Naves definitely thought he had one there. The size advantage and a step over the smaller Sanchez. Had it in his hands, but Sanchez not giving up on the play, able to fight forward there yet, still get his hands in, knock it free, not giving up on it.
37 seconds to go in the third. 2 touchdown, 14-point lead for the Cardinals. 2nd and 10 from the Grandville 40 here for Glennie. 3 receivers set. Snap in the gun is high at the helmet. Give to Hill. Cuts it up the middle. It gets shut down at the 40-yard line by Reed Graverson and Braylon Haney after a gain of 1. And the mark will be the 39. It will be 3rd down and 9. We'll see if Davison decides to run another play or not. It looks like they might here, or they might not. Sawyer Glennie was running to the sideline, then running back to the field. Now he runs back to Coach Weingarts with 14 less. He'll take the helmet off, continue to talk to his head coach with 8 seconds left. So I think this is just a conversation about what's coming up on the next play. That's exactly what it is. We are through 3. 35-21. Offensive explosion, and it mostly goes the Cardinals' way. They lead it by 2 scores, and we will be right back.
Have you recently collided with a deer or been caught in an unfortunate accident? Don't worry, Car Center Collision and Glass is your trusted partner to bring your vehicle back to life. With convenient branches in Cedar Springs, Burton Heights, Alpine, and Big Rapids, we're right around the corner to provide expert assistance. From collision repairs to mechanical fixes, we're your one-stop solution for all your car needs. Check us out at carcentermi.com.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here. 12 minutes on the board and one final quarter to go. Davison 31, Davison 35, Grandville 21. The Cardinals with a 3rd and 8 from the Grandville 38. And a pretty big couple of plays coming up right here to help decide this football game. Cardinals go 4 wide with a trio of receivers all bunched tight to the right side of the line of scrimmage. They isolate Banks Williams tight in the left slot. Now Sawyer Glennie running back to the sideline right here as Coach Weingart's very unhappy. Also some in their coaching box very unhappy. They're going to run a miscommunication play as running to the sideline. Sawyer Glennie was a fake man. They then direct snap it to Hill. Hill throws it to Glennie on the near side, who hauls it in, gets over the 30, and moves the chains. They are going to all of their trick plays on week 2.
Design play coming in to start the 4th quarter. Glennie walking to the sideline like unsure of the play call. Got just about there. And then eventually the direct snap to Hill and quick throws it out. Catches the Bulldogs defense sleeping just a little bit.
We now know what they were setting up at the end of that 3rd quarter as well. Back to a 3 receiver set. Glennie fake handoff, throws left side of the RPO. Incomplete at the 21-yard line, looking for Banks Williams. Newville got a hand in there. Home side wanted a flag to be called. They've asked for a lot of flags all night long, and they won't get this one.
Yeah, timed up pretty well by Newville there, trying to get the quick slant off the RPO look. Banks Williams cutting to the inside. Newville leaping, or rather lunging, trying to knock that one free. They did have a collision, but right as the football was getting there.
This is a big stadium, and this is a packed house here. This is a football program and community that I think they know what they have this year, and they certainly showing out in the early portion of this season right now. 2nd and 10 from the Grandville 29-yard line. A chance to start to put it away right here for Glennie and company. Here's a snap to Glennie. Fake handoff, throws right side to Naves. Diving grab is made at the 29-yard line as the ball was kind of out of his reach. He was able to settle it down with Avon Cott standing over top of him. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Naves quick one step and then was going to start to drag across the field. Tough throw across from Glennie. Throws it and delivers it a little bit low. Naves, in order to try to secure it, going down to a knee and giving himself up, are going to, believe, count it a completed pass.
They will, so that will make it 3rd and should be about a gain of a yard. I think there's kind of some miscommunication on the point right here. It'll be 3rd and 10 actually from the 29-yard line. So they're unable to get any progress forward. 3rd and 10 from the 29. 11:15 to go. 3 wide receivers set here, and whistles cutting the air.
I think late there they overturned the call and made an incomplete pass, moving the ball back to the other hash here, and then the clock is supposed to stop after that, and it was running.
Yeah, that's what Coach Stiegel was running in, signaling from the sideline, the far sideline for the Bulldogs. Darkness completely fallen here, lights illuminating, and brand new turf field here. And the chill that I just mentioned in the air starting to pick up a little bit more as well as we get off into this evening, and it certainly is starting to feel like football more and more. A little humid maybe for football season still, but we'll shed that in the weeks to come. That'll turn into rain and snow soon enough. 11:13 to go in the 4th quarter. What a second half from Davison continuing here, as they will get ready for a 3rd and 10 from the Grandville 29-yard line. It's a 35-21 lead for the Cardinals with 11:13 in the 4th. Again, they go trio of receivers, bunch to the right, 4 wide receivers set. Still taking our time to get things set right here and still having a discussion of officials. Now we'll go for the 3rd and 10 play. Glenny from the shotgun. Again, tight trips to the right, stacked on top of each other. Puts Naves in motion, fakes the handoff to him. Glenny drops the pass, left side, Banks Williams caught at the goal line. Touchdown, Davison. Even Cott seemingly had perfect coverage on that one, but somehow Banks Williams rips it away from him and scores. 20-point lead for the Cardinals.
Yeah, caught the safety there, read it, but just a step too late. Was trying to get over 2 receivers running routes to that left side. Banks Williams, the furthest down the field. Caught just a step late getting there, and a perfectly thrown ball from Glenny leads Banks Williams just enough.
It got to be Glenny's best throw of the night, you would have to say. That was perfectly placed. Ferguson looking to add the extra point right here to make it a 3 full touchdown lead and a 21-point lead. That one is good. 42-21 Davison, 11.5 to go. We'll be right back.
167 horsepower, candy red, 8 cylinders of freedom. And to think, he only let me drive it once. I've never considered myself to be a lucky man. That would be Dad. He didn't know a thing about cars, couldn't tell a hatchback from a quarterback. But somehow his just kept going, and going, and going, and going. Turns out Dad wasn't lucky. He just knew where to look.
Michigan Hearing Experts sell and service several brands of hearing aids. Are you having trouble having a conversation or unable to hear the latest play of the game? We perform comprehensive hearing exams and use real ear measurements to ensure optimal functioning hearing aids for your unique needs. Our highly trained doctors of audiology are dedicated to helping you reconnect with your world. Visit MichiganHearingExperts.com to find a location near you and take the first step towards better hearing with Michigan Hearing Experts.
All Davison in the second half, and this one 11.5 to go in the 4th quarter. And the Cardinals, Chandler and Sawyer Glenny's incredible day continuing through the air in this one.
Yeah, it's been impressive, the show they put on in the 3rd quarter, now extending into the early 4th quarter, doing a lot of damage through the air. Glenny up to 250 passing yards, multiple touchdowns, some trick plays in there as well. Cardinals really rolling in the second half.
All right, Bulldog offense gets ready to get rolling in just a second. Ferguson right to left, sends it away towards Carson Kopko. Kopko will take it kind of lazily at the 2-yard line, runs it up the left hashes over the 20. He gets to the 22-yard line. A trio of tacklers take him down, led by Robbie Martin, the sophomore safety. And here comes Cash Ruffin Company, and we put our eyes on the field. Are we going to see Jaden Terry? That is the primary question. We do. So Jaden Terry will come out to start this drive. That at least a huge relief for the Grandville faithful.
Yeah, definitely a good sign for the rest of the season, or at least moving forward, that he's back out there in this game.
So Grandville from their own 23-yard line now down 3 touchdowns. Got to get something going quick. Cash Ruff straight drop to pass. Dosh is coming on the rush. He's able to avoid one man in the backfield. Now Ruff will tuck it down. Broke 2 tackles over the 20, back to the 25 for a gain of 1, and then gets tangled up at the bottom of the tackling pile with Jared Augustine Jr. Heck of a play right there by Cash Ruff, though. He was dead to rights 3 or 4 times and somehow turned a loss of 10, or a fumble even, into a gain of 1. Behind the play, Jalen Edwards is down and injured. He may have a early season cramp right here that they have to get worked out, but it should be 2nd and 9 coming up for the Bulldogs. Really nice explosive play. That's what Cash Ruff can do. We know how he's very explosive with his legs. Actually, they're going to give him 2 yards ahead here to the 25-yard line, but for Cash Ruff, those are the kind of plays that when things break down, that's why he has, in my opinion, such a high ceiling as a Grandville quarterback within this system, as he continues to get more comfortable. He's only got his senior year to run the system, but it's the plays like that he can make on the fly that make him so dangerous.
Yeah, it can be elusive in the backfield there. It was a designed play-action pass, but quite often those plays involve having pressure in the backfield, just with the way the play is designed and trying to get the tight ends down the field. A lot of times it's going to involve rolling out, having a defender and you're stepping forward, and really avoiding disaster. There was multiple arms there from the Cardinals defensive line trying to reach in, nearly stripped sack, and they had the ball on the ground, but rough.
In the ball game, Granville a 2nd and 5 coming up right here, and a 3-touchdown game. Cash Ruff out of the 2 tight end tee will go under center right here against a 4-down front for the Cardinals. Snap to Ruff. Just turns and will throw it. Ruff over the middle, looking for Sadinsky at the 50, overthrown by a couple yards as Sadinsky goes tumbling after it. It'll be 3rd and 8. So Grandville breaking out the spread pass game, so to speak, out of the tee right here, and throw it a couple of times on straight drops to pass.
Yeah, tough when the Cardinals defense kind of knows that that's coming. They can expect it a little bit more. 3 routes down the field that time from the Bulldogs. Sadinsky, the middle of the routes going between the hashes, but 3 defenders all there kind of keeping an eye on. They expect that. Let's see, Mike Medeiros was out on a route to the left side there. We'll see how much if and when they get him involved in the pass game. Had a 2-point conversion in week 1.
3rd and 8 from the 25. Trap play on a fake handoff to Sadinsky. Runs over left guard with 2 hands on the ball past the 30 to nearly the 31-yard line. Tackle was made by Jalen Edwards, who's back out there for this play, by the way. So it'll be 4th down and 2 here for the Bulldogs up to the 31-yard line. We'll see what Coach Siegel draws up on the 4th down play as we tick under 10:35 to go in a 42-21 game. Do they still have the single wing installed that they utilized last year?
We'll see.
2 tight end tees, what they'll go with. 4th and 2 from the 31. Defense crowds in. Ruff. Give. Sadinsky up the middle. Shut down a yard short of the 1st down. Harem in the stop. Turnover on downs. And plus territory for Davison, and a chance for the Cardinals maybe to put the route on right now.
Yeah, it's been tough for the Bulldogs in the second half defensively, but also the offense stalling out a little bit. Had a couple drives, a couple turnover on downs now, and just failing to get a lot going. They had a long run from Jaden Terry early in the 3rd quarter. Got their only touchdown in the second half, but other than that, struggling to consistently move the chains. Even in 3rd and 4th and shorts, those are the ones they were picking up in the first half, kept their drives going, able to get themselves a couple scores, but unable to do so here in the 3rd and 4th quarters.
So here comes Glennie and company. 10-12 to go. They lead it 42-21. They'll go back to the 3 wide receiver set with Edwards as the H. Snap to Glennie. Delay give is faked. RPO pass. Steps back. Fires deep. Left side. And it's underthrown through the hands of Sanchez. Incomplete. It was kind of underthrown, but also Banks Williams got tripped up.
With Banks Williams once again able to get his head around that time, locate the football. Had a chance, try to elevate and try to get another interception, but between the hands, even though it went through, Williams had fallen down, so not a chance that one was going to be completed.
Again, 3 receivers set from the gun. 2nd and 10. Delayed give with a fake throw to Hill. Bouncing up the middle. Jumps over defender 25. Jumps over another at the 20. Bounces outside the numbers at the 20. Reverses field at the 15. And dives into a pile at the 10. What a run by A.J. Hill. We talked about the Terry versus Hill battle. Jaden Terry had a big moment early, but A.J. Hill certainly putting the moves on here.
Yeah, really, it's still only the 7th carry for Hill, but over 80 yards. Again, getting down inside the 10-yard line. Stop and go, making guys miss, the juke move, really elusive.
All right, it'll be a 1st and goal right from the 10-yard line. 9:40 and less to go. And a chance to make it a 28-point lead right here with a score for the Cardinals, and they'll run it up to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers set. Hill motions from the right to the left hip, and Sawyer Glennie, a little bit of confusion, will call a timeout. Palms up, will run back to Coach Weingart's trying to figure out the call right here. 9.5 to go, and a 3-touchdown lead for Davison. We'll be right back here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio.
The 76 Diner and Truck Stop would like to invite you and your families to come and check out their diner. With locations in both Byron Center and Coopersville, they're a great place to stop before or after the game. They have a wide variety of menu choices to feed all the kids. They serve breakfast hot all day, and they're able to accommodate all of your large group needs. Their full menu is available for takeout orders, and they have online ordering at 76truckstopdiner.com.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
2019 state champions been rolling in the second half of this one. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, a 3-touchdown lead for Davison. They'll go to work 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Snap to the senior Glennie. Delay give to Hill. Penalty markers down, and a false start will make this a 1st and goal from the 15 with 9:28 to go.
Something that plagued the Davison offense a little bit in the first half. Set them back, a couple false starts. Did have 1 or 2 in the second half, but they've been able to clean that up a little bit prior to that one.
So Glennie back in from the sideline. Really, really good game, to say the least, from that young man through the air in this one, and made a really nice pass on the last long TD as well. He'll go back to the gun. Right hash mark, 1st and goal from the 15-yard line. 3 receivers set from the shotgun. Hill offset to his left hip. Snap at the chest, given to Hill. Bounces up, spin move over the 10. He's on his feet at the 8. Backing into a defender inside the 5. Kubzak levels him. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5. I mean, now the defense a little spread out. Some of those zone running lanes in the middle opening, and A.J. Hill just bouncing and spinning and jumping and moving through them.
Yeah, all the play calls really working for the Cardinals here, especially when you got a running back like that. Spin move, avoiding guys. He's broken out just about everything he's got as far as making guys miss.
Mark will be the 5-yard line, and it'll be a 2nd and goal from the 5. Already a 3-touchdown lead for this really good-looking Cardinals team. They'll go to the power I right here. I back is Hill. Single receiver left is Kane. Glennie under center. Snap to Glennie. Pitch left side to Hill at the 10. Bouncing it up at the 5. Diving down into a tackling pile to the 2-yard line. I see Haney. I see Moody. I see Graverson all standing around him. It'll be 3rd down and goal from inside the 2-yard line to the 1. Mark will now be 2, so it'll be 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. 8:11 and less to go. Clock running down to the 4th. 42-21 dominant second half for Davison. It was 14-14, and then it was immediately 21-21. It's been all Cardinals ever since. They'll break it out here once again. Glennie will go under center. They go power I. Pair of fullbacks in. Deep back is Hill. They'll give it to him. Up the middle. Hill broke a tackle. Diving towards the goal line. Touchdown, Davison. A.J. Hill, 2 rushing TDs on the ground. And by the way, he threw for 1 on a trick play earlier as well. 48-21 Cardinals. Davison flexing their muscle and showing why they may deserve to be a favorite along with teams like Belleville to win this year's Division I state championship.
Yeah, they're showing they're a real well-rounded team when multiple scoring plays down the field. Now the running game coming alive too. Hill over 100 yards, tacking on another touchdown.
Extra point, again, good for the sophomore Ferguson, who's got a heck of a leg on him. 49-21, Davison all over Grandville. We'll be right back.
There's something for everyone on Pizza Ranch's legendary buffet. Our pizza buffet features hot, cheesy goodness, slice after slice after slice. Try our signature pizzas or request your favorite combination with our Buffet Your Way option, and you'll get the first piece. With endless possibilities, you're sure to find your ranch favorites. Everyone will agree that cactus bread is the perfect dessert to end your meal. For legendary food that everyone loves, there's so much to love at Pizza Ranch.
167 horsepower, candy red, 8 cylinders of freedom. And to think, he only let me drive it once. I've never considered myself to be a lucky man. That would be Dad. He didn't know a thing about cars, couldn't tell a hatchback from a quarterback. But somehow his just kept going, and going, and going, and going. Turns out Dad wasn't lucky. He just knew where to look.
7:49 to go. And again, Ferguson right to left sends this one away to Carson Kopko, who will take it at the 1 yard line at the left hash mark. Runs it up the left hash mark, and he's hunted down at the 14. And he's leveled right there. He's taken some big hits right there on the return game. And Diego hunts him down. 7:44 to go, 49-21. And again, Grandville certainly will not be happy with their second half performance. But Chandler, talk to this Davison offense we've seen, because they have proven that they can score in multiple ways. They can do a lot of things to keep you off balance, not just the trick plays. This is a really good Cardinals team, and I want Grandville fans listening to keep that in mind when they maybe look at this score. This is a state championship. Now, you're going to see a couple state championship level teams in the OK Red too, but this is a really, really good team. And Grandville now going to go to work from their own 14-yard line. Give up the middle to Kopko, made a man miss in the open field at the 30-yard line. Over to the 30 to the 31, tackled from behind by Charkin, and a nice first down is, for the first time today, Carson Kopko able to find some space on the trap.
Really good work by the interior line and linebackers of the Cardinals, keeping that interior run game bottled up. Kopko finding some room there, but for the most part, it's been outside of the Jaden Terry long touchdown run, the Cardinals have held a lot of those runs to very short yardage.
From the 30, give up the middle again to Kopko, and this time absolutely nowhere to go. He gets shoved 5 yards backwards, tumbling out of the pile. So we're right back to the line of scrimmage at the 30, 2nd and 10. We go under 7 minutes to go in the ball game. 49-21 in Davison. Hard to believe that this game was 7-0 Grandville. It was 14-7 Grandville. It was 21-21. And now here we are, 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs from their own 30. Ruff, delayed give is fake bootleg keeper. Outside the numbers to the 35 and ahead to the 38-yard line, where Cash Ruff will walk his way out of bounds and bull over the first down marker on his way out. It'll be 3rd down and short here for the Bulldogs. Nice little bootleg there from Cash Ruff. I think that's the first time we've seen him run the boot in this game.
Yeah, they tried it early on, had a penalty that brought it back. Yep. The only other carry for Ruff was on that play action pass that broke down. So the first true design run that's going to count for Cash Ruff there. Haven't seen the Bulldogs call to use him with his legs a whole lot in this one.
He stepped out at the 36. That makes it a 3rd and 4 here for the Bulldogs. 6:10 to go. Ruff, give up the middle, sidestepping Kopko. Gets a couple to the 38-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 2. That may have been Sadinsky actually on the carry. It's still the first game of the year for us, folks, and I haven't watched Power T football since I last saw the Bulldogs, so we got to collect ourselves a little bit on all the misdirections and so forth. Davison's done a very good job, of course, collecting that in the second half. 5.5 to go. 4th down and 2 for Grandville from their own 37-yard line. Give to Sadinsky up the middle, pushing his line. He's got the first down to the 41-yard line. Good job right there to sidestep, push ahead, get the first.
Even with this game out of reach for the Bulldogs, still important. Trying to get back to the success they had early on in the game. Their offense is built around converting those 3rd and 4th downs. Their strong run only needed a couple yards, but Sadinsky able to put his head down, finish that run very strong. Keeps the chains moving and trying to get a successful last drive for the Bulldogs here.
By the way, Junie Figueroa is subbing for Jaden Terry on this drive, and he'll have a fake handoff to him here. Ruff dumping a pass off in the flat to Connolly, caught at the 45-yard line, races to the 50, and gets angled out by Diaz-Ingrados. First down to the 49-yard line for the Bulldogs right there. Connolly done some really good job. Couple grabs now for him. Ranging into the open field today for the Bulldog offense out of the junior tight end, who I think is going to be a really, really big piece of this team going forward this year and next year.
Yeah, he's looked good. A couple targets, 2 receptions, 57 yards for Connolly. Able to break free on a big 47-yard gain early on in the game. Tacking on to his total there.
It'll be a 2nd and 1. He didn't actually quite get the first down. Ruff under center, give to Sadinsky on the stretch, turns it up at the 50. He has the first down to the 45 and angles out to the 39-yard line as he was chased out of bounds by Augustine Jr. So nice first down by Sadinsky, who he's had to take over the feature back role this drive and came up limping a little bit at the end of that one, but Sadinsky's looked pretty good really all game long. This has been a very, very big performance. I mean, even in the loss by Easton Sadinsky, he's looked very solid in the pass game and the rush game with a touchdown with some nice grabs.
Yeah, it's been a consistent night for Sadinsky. 70 rushing yards, just staying when he gets the touches, adding on, able to have a nice total. Had a couple double-digit yardage runs.
Rough fake give, drop to pass off his back foot, fires deep right side, looking for Sadinsky, intercepted. At the 15-yard line, Trey Heido, the junior, came away with it, ripped it away from Sadinsky, and an exclamation point for the Cardinals. 4:42 to go. What a grab by Heido as well, ranging in coverage right there in the INT.
Yeah, really, the ball put in a pretty good place by Cash Ruff. Sadinsky had a chance at that one, just the coverage was very good. Able to go up and steal the ball away. Not really a bad throw by Cash Ruff, forcing one in there, just really good coverage in the secondary.
4:42 remaining, 49-21. Curious if we'll see the second string offense here. And we do, and this is actually an interesting moment because this brings out the sophomore Jackson Dosh, the backup quarterback who this team does think quite a darn bit about, I think, going forward. And here's a snap to Dosh. Delayed give up the middle, big hole over the 20-yard line. Balling his way on ahead over the 30-yard line to the 32 on his first carry of the game is Dominic Perez, the junior tailback.
Under center, number 15, Tyler Doss.
Mark will be the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 right here with 4.5 to go. Good carry there by Perez up the middle. Cardinals will take their time, and again, Dosh will get ready, and curious how much he's going to do. We got a timeout on the field. It's Emery Moody. Behind the play, Emery Moody was a little shaken up, and he's going to get some help. He's on his feet coming off the field, but I didn't even see Moody go down necessarily right there, but he was a little slow to get up, and Moody will find his way back to the Grandville sideline. So 1st and 10 from their own 35 here for Dosh and company. Again, Jackson Dosh, the sophomore that they really, really like going forward. I think for this team, he's been pretty well talked about. 3 wide receivers set for him right here. Snap to the sophomore. Delayed give, fake to Perez. It's a quarterback read option keeper. Bounces outside at the 40. Got the 45, 50. Fumbles it out of bounds to the 45-yard line as he was tracked down by Newville from behind. And that's a play that we haven't seen yet as Dosh has got some wheels. Well, we've seen that play. We saw Mason McKenzie run that play a lot. And he'll run it right there effectively for a first down into Grandville territory.
Yeah, I think that's the element of Dosh's game that maybe has the Cardinals excited. Glennie, a very good quarterback throwing the football down the field. He's athletic enough to move around in the pocket, but right there you see some of the speed from Dash in the running game that really can make those RPOs, some of those read option looks out of the shotgun, really dangerous when you've got a quarterback that can also beat you with his legs.
1st and 10 from the Grandville 47-yard line, 3:55 to go. And Dash from the shotgun. 4 down front for the Bulldogs. Here's the snap. Give to Perez's fake. RPO throw right side is hauled in with one arm by Charkin over the 40, past the 35, and spins and twists down to the 30-yard line where he was wrestled down by Graverson. Really nice grab there. Got the junior tight end ranging into the open field.
Yeah, the throw out in front of him in the flat. No defender around, but the throw led him by a couple steps, able to reach out with one hand, bring it back into his body, and then turn upfield.
Pretty impressed. This home crowd, by the way, they have stayed in pretty full force. They say they all in unison say move those chains every time they've moved the chains, and we're staying with it deep into the game. This is a football crazy community. I'll tell you that much. This is a community, like I said, I think they know what they have this year. I think this is a recent state championship community who I think knows exactly what they could possibly have this season, and this game has certainly showed it. If beating De La Salle didn't already show it. Give up the middle here to Perez, burst of speed through the hole to the 25-yard line, where he gets shut down by the middle of the Grandville defense, Graverson and company. By the way, Emery Moody back out there, so he's good to go for the Bulldogs. 3 minutes to go, and less as the clock runs down here in the fourth quarter. 49-21. As we knew there was going to be a statement made regardless who won this one, but Davison really made a statement tonight.
Yeah, it did. Second half performance, back-to-back weeks now, changing the game at halftime, making some adjustments.
That's the big point. Sorry, but
yeah.
That's the big point.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff, you have to tip your cap to them and what they were able to do, what they talked about at halftime, bringing up some trick plays when they needed them, but also getting their entire offense, defense really clicking.
Timeout on the field, called by Coach Weingartz and Davison, but I feel like we are the West Side Explorers coming over here, like we're like the Christopher Columbuses, because no one else from the West Side has been over to see Davison play as of yet, and I feel like we now are like the first ones that have kind of gotten this chance to see exactly what this team's about, knowing that Rockford or whoever, Grandville, Calhoun's D2 now, but whoever may come out of our side of the state. You good?
I'm good, yeah.
Whoever may come out of our side. It's been a long night, folks.
We're good.
Whoever comes out of our side of the state, they're going to have to play this team, I can almost guarantee you, and I think we are here to sing the praises of what this team is going to be for Davison.
Yeah, definitely. I think last week you see what they did against De La Salle, and then I'm losing my voice here, I guess, but last week you see the score, but now to be able to see them in person, definitely a true all-around great team here. I think whoever's going to play them is going to have a true test.
Chandler's done. We're not even a week in. Just shut your mic off. I snap over that at Dosh, able to jump to settle it down, gave it up the gut to Perez. He's got the 21-yard line, just short of the first down. The mic is back on. He is alive.
Good. I'm alive. I was trying to fight through it, and I was really trying to be a gamer there, but it just wasn't working.
He's a true professional. He never gives in. He's always there. He's been keeping stats all the way.
I missed that last play. I'm not going to lie.
It was Perez ahead of the 21,
all right.
So gain of whatever. This has devolved into, okay, make sure you tune to the Tailgate Report. It's worse than this. If you've enjoyed the last 2 minutes of this broadcast, we're actually normally worse than this, believe me. Dosh will break him out. 3rd and 2 from the 22-yard line. We go under a minute 40 to go. The sophomore at the controls of the offense. Perez to his left hip. Snap to Perez. He'll run it himself to the left side on the power sweep and gets leveled by Avon Cott at the 22-yard line. It'll be 4th down. Let's see what they're thinking.
Yeah, I wonder it does look like a penalty flag down there as well. We'll see what the call is going to be.
There's a lot of yellow between their jerseys and the penalty markers when they come down. Could potentially, it's going to be a false start. So false start pushes it backwards. I was almost wondering if it will now be Dosh coming out once again right here. And they'll run it up to the line of scrimmage, but the line of scrimmage is the old line of scrimmage. Now they're going to put the ball down behind all the players. 1:24 to go, third down, as we'll reset things here, and 7 after the penalty from the 27. Snap to Dosh, give to Perez up the right side, and he's hunted down hard from behind at the 26-yard line by Naraki. Fourth down and medium. They're going to kick it. I wondered. So they're going to show off the leg of their sophomore Ferguson. They're going to try to cross the 50-point threshold on their way. Still over a minute to go right here, so not quite kneeing the ball time. It probably could have been kneeing the ball time, but they chose not to. They're trying. I mean, it's early season. It's statement time. So here comes Ferguson. He will look to add a long one here. This will be a 42-yarder for the sophomore. Snap is down, kick is up. This one has got, it looks like enough leg. It does. Tumbles through a 42-yarder from Ryder Ferguson to add a little bit of an exclamation point on this ball game, as if he didn't have good enough of a game, an exclamation point that he already has made. 52-21 now in this one.
Yeah, it's one of the better legs you'll see at the high school football level right there. 42 yards and cleared the crossbar by a couple yards at least. That would have been good from a few yards back. Impressive from the young man.
And yeah, still, like you said, still a youngster, still just a sophomore. So one more weapon that this team has going forward. This feels like a complete team. You know what? I got to see Belleville at the Grandville preseason showcase or scrimmage. We obviously saw them last year. That is the gold standard. They have a kid in particular, a quarterback, that sets the gold standard. I mean, we know what Belleville can and can't do. I truly think, just on paper, looking at the size, looking at some of the talent, if there's a team that can do things a little bit differently and kind of push around Belleville and play their own style with a very good defense that's very smart, this Davison team has impressed me in that way early.
Yeah, I think really they've shown in the second half here what they can be as a complete unit. Of course, you see the special teams right there, the offense, lots of big plays. The defense has played sound against the offense they're not used to seeing.
Squib kick is fielded in need at the 29-yard line, and the Grandville offense will come out, and we'll see if they run anything or if the Bulldogs will knee this one out and send everyone home here into their Labor Day weekends.
That's a 7 o'clock kickoff next week, Friday, September 8th.
Davison, it's announced on the PA. They're going to Thurlby Field. They have Traverse City Central next week. So that's, of course, Traverse City Central has moved, I believe, into this division, Central and West. So they've got a long travel a lot of times within this division. But they will, Rough will go under center, relay the message again. Figueroa filling in for Jaden Terry right here. And Figueroa will get it up the middle, and he'll dive into the pile and push it ahead to the 33, 34-yard line. Maybe even the 35 on the mark. Well, go under 20 seconds to go right here. And Grandville will take it back to their sideline. And both teams will find their way to the middle of the field, and our celebrations will begin. 52-21. A dominant performance in the second half, in particular from the Davison Cardinals. And welcome to Centennial Securities post-game show. Davison to 2-0, Grandville to 1-1. Chandler, your first thoughts? This Davison team's darn good.
Yeah, they sure are. I think you see what makes them a true threat in this division. I think the Bulldogs, you kind of see the potential in the first half when they play their game. If they keep things under control offensively, defense able to get some turnovers and limit the amount of big plays, you see the potential. But in the second half, the Cardinals just taking over and showing why they're a truly elite team.
Yeah, and plenty of things. I mean, again, you have at least two very elite teams in the OK Red. You have a few other the middle teams that certainly can beat you, and Grandville's going to have to learn from this. There are certainly things to take away that were positive, from the first half, and then some things to look at when that second half pace got upped and when it it reminded you a little bit of, kind of the Rockford and the Caledonia games from last year. Grandville was chasing the ghost a little bit, a lot of the way. But this Davison team certainly able to make a statement tonight. We got a lot to get to here still on the Centennial Securities post-game show. When we come back, we'll have some awards, we'll have some stats, and we'll start to turn things around and get you ready for next week as well. 52-21, dominant win, especially in the second half. Davison pulls away after a 14-14 halftime score and wins this one big here on their home field. They go to 2-0 on the season.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit bowlingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Hard work on three. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Shannon Timmer. Let's continue our Centennial Securities post-game show, 52-21. Davison the win, and then we will get out of here. Scoring recap again, 14-14 at the end of the first half, and man, it was quick. First, Hilda Kemp on a trick play, 74-yard touchdown pass, extra point good, 21-14 Davison. Jaden Terry answers right back with an 85-yard run, 21 all, and then it wound up being all Davison from there on out. Glennie to Edwards from 31. Glennie to Banks Williams from 29. Hill the 2-yard run. Ferguson to the field goal, 52-21 your final. CT, some stats, please.
All right, we'll start for the Cardinals. Big game from Glennie. He had 250 passing yards to go along with those touchdowns. Also, 13 rushing yards and 9 yards receiving in there as well in that trick play that you mentioned. Rushing stats, Hill led the way, 104 yards. Perez had 35 there late in the game. Second-string quarterback Dosh with 18. Then some unique stats here with Hill. He had 2 completions, the starting running back for 83 yards. A bunch of receiving stats. I'll hit some of the big ones here. Naves 54, Banks Williams 71, Kemp 74, Coakley with 52. For the Bulldogs, Cash Ruff had 3 completions for 83 yards, as well as 8 rushing yards. Jaden Terry led the way on the ground, 144 yards, most of that coming on an 85-yard touchdown run. Sadinsky with 71, Kopko 58. Graverson had that 2-yard touchdown run. Figueroa with 5 there at the end. Connolly, leading receiver, 57 yards. Sadinsky with a 26-yard reception as well.
All right, we'll just kind of keep it to a one segment. Centennial Securities post-game show right here. Let's go through some of the awards. First off, the Carr Center hit of the game. So many options. I'm going to go back to the first half and the first hit of the game because it was a handoff to Jaden Terry. It was Carter Harriman, the big guy in the middle of the defense. It was a play that kind of strung out Terry. It essentially kind of ended that particular drive that the Bulldogs were on, but so many options for the Carr Center hit of the game because of the way that the inside of this defense played. There's other big hit where like 3 guys all pop the ball free from Sadinsky as well.
Yep.
Moving on from that, let's go to our Farmers Insurance play of the game. I think you added the trick play, right? The trick play touchdown, 74 yards. I mean, break it down again. I mean, it was It was a well-drawn-up play right out of the halftime break. It was a double pass, and it was a perfect pass from A.J. Hill down the field.
Yeah, a couple trick plays in the second half from the Cardinals, but none bigger than that. Starting off the game, your first play, trying to break a score or a tie at halftime, 14-14, coming out and giving the ball to your running back. Looks like it's going to be a stretch run play. He's got a lot of speed. The defense trying to beat him to the edge, and then all of a sudden tucks the ball in one hand, goes up for the pass, and has a speedy receiver streaking down the sideline, able to make a pretty accurate throw there as well. Impressive play that kind of broke the game open and set the tone for the second half.
Centennial Securities player of the game, so many options. I'm obviously talk about A.J. Hill, what he was able to do on the ground, but Sawyer Glenny, he ran the offense with 4 touchdowns at the end of the night. He was the reason that this offense was able to stay as turbocharged as they were and able to help deliver that second half win, because in first half, I won't say he was shaky, but he certainly, there were a couple missed throws. The second half, Glenny came out. He was able to hit wide open receivers, made some really, really good throws as well. Great performance for our Centennial Securities player of the game, Sawyer Glenny.
Yeah, really impressive the way he threw the football. I think had a couple underthrows that resulted in an interception in the first half, but cleaned things up, able to deliver the ball on time, put the ball in the right places. Of course, it helps when you've got a lot of speedy playmakers on the outside. You can throw it to and let them do some of the work, but yeah, a ton of passing yards, 250, also contributing on the ground, had a reception in there, doing a little bit of everything, and a really strong performance for him.
Absolutely. All right. Tough night, I think, when you break it down at the end for the Bulldogs, of course. Good first half. Davison, though, overwhelms them in the second half, and some things to reset. A long drive back to the west side of the state to reset as well right here for the Bulldogs to try to figure some things out. Make sure you tune in early next week. Normally about Tuesday it comes out onto our YouTube page, Michigan Game Night, the YouTube page at MI Game Night. We will have our tailgate report breaking this down, breaking down a lot more from around the area as well. We typically have an interview with a Grandville player or coach coming off this game and kind of setting up. We'll see who or what we may wind up getting, if we wind up getting an interview, or if we kind of go a different direction possibly as well. So stay tuned to that. We certainly will be getting the captains on shortly. We'll be hearing from Coach Stiegel and Coach Landis and many more, plenty throughout this season. A tough turnaround, of course, for the Bulldogs after this, but next week on MGN, a chance to turn around. They go to Grand Haven, and of course Grand Haven, a place that Grandville has looked very good at in the past couple years. They have only lost once against the Buccaneers since I came, same then for you, since they came on, and it was a game where they were on their 4th-string quarterback in the playoffs. So a good chance maybe for the Bulldogs to bounce back a little bit against a first-year head coach and Grand Haven team trying to find their footing as they start the OK Red slate. And, I mean, it starts now. I mean, it gets tough. You got Grand Haven. You follow it up then with a good East Kentwood team, good Hudsonville team at home, on the road to an underrated West Ottawa team. And then you've got the monster back-to-back. You've got Caledonia on the road. You have Rockford at home. So all that coming up. Plenty of chance to bounce back. Tough one, though, tonight, Chandler. I'll let you kind of get the final word, wrapping up some of what you think you saw tonight.
Yeah, I think, as we talked about in the first half, you see what this team can be when they play the style of game that they want, kept things close. I think that gives you hope as you look ahead to some of those tough games that you just mentioned further down the schedule. But I think you never want to overlook anyone in the OK Red in the conference game next week, but a good opportunity to get right there and then kind of set things going forward. That's a risky take when you play a strong non-conference schedule like this. It's something that Coach Stiegel and the Bulldogs have done now for a couple years, and they do a pretty good job of getting things turned around right away, regardless of how these games go. Of course, you want to win them, and you'd have a huge opportunity here to try to start off 2-0, but even against a really good team, it's impressive, and you trust the coaching staff to get the team ready to roll as they go into the OK Red and turn it around.
I mean, you tell the Bulldogs that they get out of the start of this schedule 1-1 before the year, and you're probably feeling pretty good, I think, about that with the difficulty of the schedule that they ultimately had a blowout win last week, and a near, possibly even blowout loss this week, especially in that second half. But again, it was so close, and there still are positives, I think, to try to take away even from a big loss like they had here tonight on the road at Davison. All right, again, thanks to Farmers Insurance, thanks to Centennial Securities. I believe that will wrap it up here tonight. Again, we'll see everyone on our YouTube page next week for the Tailgate Report, and we will see everyone at Grand Haven next week. We'll have radio coverage. Again, on the road, we'll have a couple video coverage games back-to-back as Grandville goes back home after that. He is Chandler Timmer. I'm Nate Jar. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Bulldogs drop a tough one here tonight, but this Davison team is really, really darn good. We learned that for certain. We'll see everyone next week.